How it do, how it be, how it is, everybody. Welcome in and welcome back. We're getting into the second half of the season with our campaign, Bayonet. If you're noticing, real quick, just to get it out of the way, if you're noticing that Offbeat and Lexi aren't here anymore, it's because they very much needed their Saturdays. Very understandable. No worries there. It's a big ask, which is all the more reason to thank these wonderful yahoos who have been along the way. ValveMax and Drakoniques, and welcome Metro Mike for his first official permanent seat at the Longshot table. Not a one-shot, coming in full Monty with a very beloved character in the Longshot history. I'm SirFeffers, the humble dungeon master of the Longshot table, and today I have the honor and privilege of DMing for these yahoos. If you would like to get up to see the other shenanigans we've gotten up to, you can head over to the YouTube Longshot, as well as the 3 other weekly streamed campaigns here on the channel. Again, 3 episodes a week, 3 different channels, 3 different episodes. Oh my God, words! 3 different campaigns, DM'd by your boy. And if you would like to join our community, you can head over to the Discord. We've got memes, we've got wholesomeness. Most importantly, we have bingo, and people have gotten very invested in the bingo. I think that's it for my stuff. I've got a Patreon if you want to learn how to DM like I do, or if you're looking for some one-shots that are off stream that you would like to be a part of, head over to the Patreon. That's it for me. Let me throw it over to Metro Mike.
I'm Puff. Hi, I'm Metro.
Just tell us about you for right now, not your character.
Okay. Yeah, I do special effects makeup and design characters and then act in those characters. And then I play horror games and survival games and Souls-likes and RPGs on Twitch, and then soon there's gonna be more YouTube stuff, but it's Metro Mike, or other than Twitch, it's Metro_Mike on everything. And I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for the freaking invitation.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, I'm excited. And on man, the myth, the legend, and freaking ValveMax.
Okay, listen here.
I'm listening,
guys. I'm not just talking to you, Mike. I'm talking to everybody who's watching this. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas cookies. I hope you enjoyed your twinkly little lights. You Southerners, I hope you enjoyed your nice little snow, because it's over. Okay, we're getting back to the grind right now. Now let's get back to it. Hey everybody, it's me, Andy, also known as ValveMax010 or Andy Skadoosh Taylor over on the TikToks. I make little funny goose and gags over there, and I'm coming back to play Pierce Ashwalker. But enough about him. If you want to find me, you can find me over on all the places as ValveMax010, and I'd love to have you as a follower. Drakoniques, I think it's your turn.
It's my turn. Hi everyone, I'm Drakoniques, or Drak for short. I do TTRPG stuff, anything and everything TTRPG related. I am doing or will be doing in the near future. A few things I'll plug right now because I'm just very proud of them is if you check out Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Lost Omen Divine Mysteries, I wrote some of the words in there. Got to write some of the gods in the official Pathfinder 2nd Edition book. You can check that out. I wrote some stuff for Cubicle 7's Doctor Who TTRPG as well, so you can check that if you're a fan of sci-fi and Doctor Who or things Doctor Who. But today, I'm playing Azalea. Azalea's back, the babysitter so far of the group.
There's gotta be one,
that might
right?
still be a thing.
Oh boy. You can find me playing a bunch of other characters all over the place, but finding me and following me on socials is probably the best way to find out where I am at any given moment. So I'm Drakoniques, that's DRAKONIQUES on all socials, drakoniques.itch.io on Blue Sky if you're there. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into this.
All right, and the final thing to mention is the amazing art. Oddity Draws herself leaned in and said, I got this. Look at the art. It's incredible. Breathed so much life into these characters. And I cannot thank them enough. They are open for commission, so go peep their art. this was, to quote them, one of the more serious commissions, serious aesthetics that we've brought in. And she did the first two ones, and I was like, all right, and then there's this puffball. And she was like, oh, this is my wheelhouse.
I got this.
Big ups to Oddity Draws. Much love for her. And finally, that brings us to our sponsorship. The illustrious Modern Artifice makes artisanal dice, makes phenomenal stuff, like really, really banging dice. And if you want to go check it out, you can. If you use the code Longshot, you will get 10% off. And a little bit of that goes in my pocket as well, which is awesome. I can't shout about enough. We are currently working on some Longshot dice, maybe some pine cones involved with it. I'm very, very excited about that. But for now, let's get back into Woe and Owed. Let's get back into Bayonet. I am so very excited. We're going to open with our beloved Puffball. Puff, it has been a very strange couple of hours for you. Whereas you were a farmer working the land, and your local lord and governor mustered an army on your land, his land technically, I guess. But it very quickly became a bit of a shift for you, and you were quickly kind of pressured or coerced into joining the army and this invasion. Your farm home, long since picked apart for feeding the army and the like, it all kind of was just taken from you. And that stung a lot, but it was the last thing on your mind when you entered Woe and Owed, and you started floating, and people's nervous systems started getting ripped out of their bodies. It's been a harrowing couple of hours. You're fast, and you have scurried your little self towards the closest civilization you could find, which turned out to be this massive pillar of a megacity between two mountains. Puff, if you were to look up into the sky, you would not see stars. You would see another landscape looking back at you. In the center of Woe and Owed, this demiplane is a plane of where the gravitational forces kind of balance out and there's a weightlessness. You're not in that right now, but you're aware of it, and it was very much almost your death. You have since made your way into this city, and now you've gotten horribly lost. Let's make a history check real quick to see just how heckin' lost you are.
What did those?
Uh-oh.
14.
14, okay. So you think you've got a little bit of... You've picked up on a few dangers, and you're able to predict where those are, and you note they're moving about throughout this massive ruin of a megacity. And you've discovered that there are myconids that will kill you, and then, kind of like necromancy, raise you back up to become one of them, and other such horrors that you've kind of been able to avoid and conserve your energy. However, it has been a journey. So to properly catch you up with the rest of the party, I think we need to roll a D100, and based off of the severity of that 100 roll, I will give you an injury.
Okay. It'd be a 38.
A 38 out of 100 is pretty low. That's pretty low. Let's see. You've got two things wrong with you. One is you have dislocated one of your legs. The other is one of your teeth in the back, hard to reach, feels like it's trying to kill you. And you're not sure what's up with that, whether you took a fall just right or what, but one of your back chompers is in a revolt against the fact that it has anything to do with you. You are currently curled up in this really big stone brick oven with a long chute of a chimney that you've been using to kind of scamper here and there and everywhere. And you kind of come to your senses after some sleep. You wake up from a long rest. Your hip, your leg is still dislocated, and your tooth is what brings you back to wakefulness. And you slowly uncurl yourself in the soot and look around. Describe yourself for me.
Puff is a 2-foot tall Herongon. He's a bunny, but unlike other Herongon, most Herongon are very lean, very agile. He's still very agile, except he's the equivalent of a medicine ball. He is just little bits of fur just sticking out of random sleeves. Big floppy, like very long, like almost as long, like as long, probably a foot long ears. So half of his like height is the length of his ears down his back. Big clomping feet, tiny little paws. But he's just a chunky little boy. He's got like silver gray fur, very matted now, obviously due to the environment that we're in. And then just very like shimmery blue, light like sky blue eyes. Tiny little boop snoot, tiny little nose. And then like underneath his like what are like the little, you just see teeth poking out. But yeah, he's just a giant, just a tiny little medicine ball of chunk.
Excellent. How's your headspace? What's it look like as you sit in this brick oven?
Barely shell shocked, just because of the fact that concern for his family is just consistently one, trying to stay alive, but also concerned that his family might have been pulled in here because of the fact that where he was located when all of the stuff went down, he wasn't that far from his house. The farm's not that big.
Nope.
So he's actively trying to keep himself safe while still like listening and then trying to hear if there's any other Herongon around. Because that's his primary focus.
Tell me a little bit about this family of yours. Is this like a wife and kids situation? Is this like a mom and pop's out there maybe?
Mom, pop, and as you know, ironic as it is, comes from a very large family of like cousins, uncles, brothers, sisters, very large, like pretty much
a warren, if you will.
Yeah, a warren of bunny folk that tended to the farm that he was a part of. Like there was multiple farms. It was just they were each kind of like faction of the family was designated to one farm to kind of tend to that, so that way there wasn't like overwork.
As Samwise Gamgee would say, a brace of conies.
Yeah.
These little rabbity boys. So
but yeah, no love interests. Just
right now, movement is not great. It hurts a lot. You can make a medicine check to try to relocate your leg. Until you do so, the DC is 15. Until you do so, your movement speed is 10.
okay. I got a 3.
You got a 3? Okay.
Can I roll a strength check to remove the tooth?
Yeah.
It's a
you can do
back
that.
one.
Yeah, you reach up in there and you try to get a good solid grip on that.
That is an at 20 on the strength check.
Oh. you go up to like a pole and wrap your hand like around it, grab a hold and yank yourself away, getting that kind of leverage. And you look at the tooth, which seems to be crumbling. It seems to be crumbling like hard candy and left in the rain.
I'm gonna put it in my. I'm gonna wrap it in a small piece of cloth and put it in my bag.
Okay.
Because that doesn't seem normal.
No.
I don't know what teeth do when they're left your body, but I'm fairly certain that's not the case. That's not normal.
There's a brief moment of pain, and it begins to subside just in time for a strange rumbling and crunching noise, kind of like you would have never seen like a train, right? You don't have that tech, but something of that scale in machinery this way cometh. And as it continues, it gets louder and louder and louder, and then it stops. Make a perception check.
Perception. That is a 17.
17. You hear...
Actually, it is an 18 because of the ear cuff.
Okay. Oh, nice. You hear the disgruntled gibberings and arguments of what sounds a bit like Dwarvish, but you're not able to parse it because you've never heard this dialect of Dwarvish. But you hear
Can I
just
understand
a lot of...
What does the text say?
You don't see... Oh, I see. So including things heard?
Yeah, anything heard. Even if I can't see the thing, if I can hear it.
Okay. in your periphery, in like the bottom like corner or whatever, an illusory text that only you can see kind of begins to scrawl itself outwards. I told you, we're going the wrong way. We must start working our way back and around over to the place where we enter this strange land. I'm telling you, there's something going on here that no one else seems to care about but me, and that is we're absolutely lost. We need to head back before we go any deeper. We've got enough of this strange finery. We've looted. We should leave and come back with bigger bags. No, we must continue onward. We must delve deeper in. And then it begins to continue onward. It gets a little farther away, and then something happens. The dwarves are alerted. Oh shit, what's that? Oh, quick, get the sticks. And you hear, and you hear a Drakoniques. Could you describe your voice?
Oh, it's kind of tired. I think his voice, it just sounds like the person who's speaking is just constantly tired. A little bit low, a bit gravelly. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can describe it. Tired, low, and gravelly.
That voice kind of cuts through as it seems to not antagonize, but assert itself in the situation, and the dwarves are mollified and they seem to back off, and you hear them puff arguing with each other, and then one of them being like, "Oh, snap out of it, Timon, you're being stupid. Timon, smack, 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 smack." And you hear Timon presumably going, "Timon, you're drooling. I need you to stop this. We need to get away from this guy." We're packing up. Timon, sit. Timon, sit. And quickly that roaring rumble begins to pick back up. Azalea.
Yeah.
You watch the couple of dwarves that had attempted to get into this bunker you had found. Without knowing the Held Breath's passwords and mechanisms and safety procedures, a couple of them were oh shoot, what's the spell called? Where your intelligence go to 1, feeble mind.
Feeble mind?
Yes.
Yep.
Feeble mind, yeah.
A couple of the dwarves have been feeble-minded, and quickly, while looking at you with a bit of fear and trying to make it look like posturing, they're very much quickly getting away from you. And this massive contraption seems to pick up. It seems to belch smoke into the surrounding area, which just kind of filters out in a way. It doesn't go up or down. It just kind of fills the area and dissipates. Really really strong smoke smell as the front of it, which is kind of like the underminer's drill, continues to burrow its way into the city and away from you.
I think I already asked this, but I've never seen anything like this. I haven't even heard of anything like this.
No,
Okay.
you weren't familiar with their guns either that they had.
Okay. But I've seen, because the people I came and saved from the other plane, the other world, had guns on them. So I
They had
recognize that
things
they're-
like flintlocks, yes, and muskets, bayonets, if you will.
I think they'll stare at this contraption as it burrows away. Can you give it a good hard look to make sure that it doesn't make a U-turn and turn back, and then get back into the bunker, close the door above us. Oh, I've got so much to report. Okay, how is everyone feeling? And I'll look to the rest of the people, the wizards, Pierce. Who's Pierce? Is the artificer guy? I didn't write his name down.
His name is I have it.
Atticus.
Atticus Thatch or Atticus Match, and then Lady Kathleen
Lady Cat.
and the barbarian Cameron.
Oh yeah, I need to write all of these people's names down. It's been
Yeah, 3
Wow.
NPCs with the party. Pierce. Azalea seems to have handled it. Comes down, looks at everybody, kind of checks in with everybody. Where are you at?
I was probably hanging not too far from the ladder that he went up. Kind of like maybe trying to get a peek as to who he was talking to or what was going on from below. I would imagine like Atticus is like right next to me.
Oh.
I was like, well, I'm fine. Lady Kathleen, Cameron, Atticus, are you all okay?
I am well, and I am looking forward to moving forward and finding a bed. I need rest. And I need
I'm
to
hard pressed to disagree with you there.
a safe place to figure out my druidic problem.
well. If everyone is ready, the three of you as well, and I turn to the wizards.
Yeah, I believe there are 2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them. Yeah, one of them, unfortunately, passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turn to the 2 wizards. Are you ready to start heading back up? We'll guide you, of course.
Now that they've gotten their long rest and you have given them something aside from alcohol, which was all they had to reside on that whole time, they seem much more well prepared and very thankful that you have come along to save their bacon, as it were.
Okay, and I will begin heading down to the lower, because I believe there was like an upper trapdoor and there's a lower one that we can go down and then head back up from. And as I open it up, I'll just say, be careful. There may be mimics out here. I think I dealt with the majority of them, but they usually run around in hordes.
Oh, well done. Goodness. As the party gathers themselves in the chamber below, that is the chamber just above where Puff is. So Puff, on the ceiling, and through the stone ceiling, you can hear boots, armored boots, cloth boots, leather boots, all kind of gathering themselves together in the murmur of a common that you recognize. Bill, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Also, chat, just real quick, you guys paid my bills this month. Thank you for being here. It means the world to me. Puff, what you doing?
If Puff hears movement, he's I'm like kind of climbing on rubble to listen, like ear, like flops the ear, like both of his ears over one, like the side of his head, and is like ear to ceiling, like, because I'm trying to like, even if I can't necessarily like make out what they're saying, I know that the cuff will at least give me the translation.
Yeah.
If I can't properly comprehend what they're saying, the cuff would.
Well, someone saved 2 wizards and a druid of some kind who might be nobility is very excited to get to a bed and figure out something that is inhibiting her druidic prowess. And make a history check, because you think you might recognize that voice.
That was actually solid, considering I have 0. It's 18.
18. You recognize that voice as Lady Kathleen, the wife to the lord who started this bullshit. The lord who gathered the army on your farm and invaded. You don't hear him, but you hear his wife, Lady Kathleen.
Then there's a hatch?
Yeah, like a trap door, but on the ceiling. And that's in the room above you. You're in just kind of this ruined bakery.
Okay. I'm gonna slowly like, because I got a limp. Just slowly be like through the pain, try and just jump to the jump higher to try and get to like where the sound's coming from.
Okay.
Because it sounds like non-hostile entities based on what I've experienced up into this moment. So it's like, oh, it's generally people, because everything I've seen has been like non-humanoid creatures
hunting you. Just abominations left and right. A single squirrel maybe here and there. So you know this place has some manner of flora and fauna that is natural. But Pierce, you're listening to you're listening to Azalea, and you're stepping up to the edge, and you're kind of looking off the side, and then from the room below you, which has been exposed by the machinery that is now gone, a gray blur hops into view onto the room across. So now Puff is across from the party. There's a big drop in between the groups, and he looks and turns and sees the party. Pierce, what's your reaction? What's everyone's reaction?
I immediately point that out, and I take out one of my mutagenic formulas, and I stick it into my leg, and it'll be the classic celerity, which will boost my dex. Arms, legs will extend. I'll get a little bit taller.
Just stretches.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic, literally. And I'll just kind of like whoa, and I'll have my rapier out immediately after that. Who's there? What's there?
Did I catch this, or am I only seeing Pierce?
Once it's pointed out, it is plain to see. You were talking about mimics. Have I seen a Harengon before? Yeah. You've definitely seen Haragons. You've never seen a 2-foot sphere of a Harengon before, though.
Yeah.
They're usually about your height and relatively bipedal in proportions that you would expect. This is a ball.
You see beside Pierce a kind of tall, lean, about maybe like 6'1", 6'2", Shaddai elf. They're very tired and foggy golden eyes, and they seem to be, it looks like it's almost like they're made of porcelain. I don't know if you know this, but there's a thing called kintsugi, which is the repairing of shattered pottery using gold filaments. It basically looks like he's been shattered and then put back together, but filled with like silver filaments. And running down his face like a persistent stream of inky black tears. He doesn't seem to be like sobbing. There's no sobbing sound coming from him. He's not heaving or anything or in a mess. He seems honestly rather apathetic, but there's a constant stream of black tears spilling from his eyes, and he looks over. Are you another wizard that came down here?
Can I hear them?
Casually to you.
Yeah, you're about 40 feet away.
He just plops down on the rock that he hopped up onto. He's just like looks. He's like, "Oh hi, ow, ow."
Are you drunk as well?
I don't drink.
Okay, so I'm guessing you're not one of the wizards.
Good for you.
I'm also no, I don't do. But looks at his paws.
What was it?
No.
What was it? Oh.
I was like, do I do magic? No, I don't. I don't. Do you do
What?
magic?
Yes.
Oh. I hurt myself. Could you help?
No.
That's not nice.
I have no means to help you.
Oh,
I cannot heal.
okay.
Are you gonna kill us if we help you?
That wouldn't be very not. Who have you been hanging out with?
The wizards kind of look at each other.
Why would I? Who asks for help? Like, okay, now that you help me, okay, now I gotta kill you. What? No, I hurt my leg and it hurts. And then I died to remove my tooth because my tooth was attacking me. It's a bad day.
What are you doing down here?
Existing or trying to.
Well, most people know not to come down here, especially alone.
That's a point of order, Puff, because you came up. You did not come down.
What do you mean? I don't understand. I'm not supposed to be here. I was on a farm, and so then I'm not on a farm anymore.
Are you another worlder?
Don't know what that means.
Would I have seen this person in camp at any point?
Make a history check.
Yeah, Puff has no bearings on what anybody's saying. It's
No,
been
yeah, that's
hours
perfect.
and he's just existing.
No, that's perfect.
I mean, 11. It's not great.
You were able to determine that you have not seen this individual before because you would remember this dude.
Fair.
Do I see Lady Kathleen?
Yes, you do see Lady Kathleen and Cam, this big barbarian with a battle axe, is kind of made sure to kind of put himself in between you and her, whilst also he's kind of an idiot, while also trying to check the rest of the room for mimics while keeping an eye on you for more mimics. So he looks a little preoccupied, but you do see a very level gaze kind of meeting yours from around the boulder that is Cameron. It is safe to say that you would probably recognize her.
Puff's just waves. Hi, I'm Puff. I work on your farm.
Oh. Oh.
Have you seen any herring gone? I don't know. I don't know what happened.
This is another survivor from the army.
The army?
Yes,
They're-
come, let us take care of him, shall we? I don't think he means us any ill will, and I think with what I've seen of us, we can probably handle a rabbit.
I'm a bunny. That's not nice. You know,
Oh, I apologize, dear. Come here.
I can't make that jump.
She looks at Cam. Cam takes his pack down and pulls out some rope, wrapping one around him and then tossing you the other end.
It's just like, die. And it just like slowly starts climbing.
You do the Bane thing where you just let yourself up without your legs.
Just like rolls on like does like a little like get once he clicks onto the other side, he's just like looks up at everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Puff.
Oh, your name is okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Puff. I'm Azalea.
Nice to meet you.
How's it
We'll
going?
see if that's
I'm
cool.
Pierce.
Your limbs do weird things, Pierce. I don't know if I could. It's just like Puff just like stretches out his little paws trying to do the same thing.
It's you don't have to. It's cool. You can just. I'm sure you'll fit in fine. You don't have to contort anything. This isn't even the craziest thing they do. So
Puff,
don't worry about it. Don't think about it.
It seems like they have also been going through a lot.
So, are you guys okay?
I'm fine, quite honestly. This is, believe it or not, business as usual.
What kind of business are you in? Who makes
Yes.
this their business? Why would you do this?
I will say
don't
this is
underst-
probably the largest group I've had to save in one go. But again, business as usual.
Pierce
We'll
thinks
explain
about
as we move. We should
the,
probably get moving, though.
we should. Pierce
Um,
thinks about everything that's happened so far, and he thinks about Puff's question, and he kind of just goes, "Sure." Very Stonewall-y, not letting anybody access his actual emotion.
Oh, nat 20 on Atticus Match's medicine check. And while you're talking, this small little man, not as small as you, has come up alongside you and kind of is looking at your leg. And then while y'all are talking, he just quickly comes down and puts it right back in place.
Why do you warn somebody before you do that?
Because usually they swing on me if I don't let them know it's coming. Look, I helped you, 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 I helped you. And he's gonna get behind Pierce.
Yeah, it actually feels kind of good. Oh, and then
Thumbs up
it's just
from
like
behind
you
Pierce.
see just like this, like foot long. Like it's a majority of my limbs, like my feet and my ears, are both a foot long, so they're like half my length. And it's just like you just see the flop of like him like kind of like rotating. Only all you see is his foot because he's just a ball of fluff. You can't see his actual leg, and he's just like his foot's just rotating. Like, yeah, and then he just starts bouncing. He's like,
yeah, all right,
good.
okay.
This is good. I like that guy. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Atticus. Well met.
And he's just like shakes his hand, all like super happy.
And that's Cameron. And this, of course, is Lady Kathleen.
Yeah, your husband sucks.
Atticus kind of like cringes and
Azalea takes a step forwards, I think. Will
okay.
gently place a hand on Lady Kathleen's shoulder and then turn to Puff. Let's get going.
What happened? What?
He
Because again, the last thing he remembers is that guy on his farm.
yeah.
Yeah.
He has
What happened?
paid maybe the most costly price for his actions. And you can see the war. Make an insight check, actually, Puff. And Azalea and Pierce, you already kind of know this.
I'm not very insightful, so that's a 5.
Oh, okay. She seems upset about the fact that her husband has died.
Okay.
But there might be more going on. But that is.
I am so sorry for your loss. I didn't like him because he was not nice to the farm pay people, but he didn't deserve to. He didn't deserve that.
Let's be on our way.
Okay.
Poor Puff.
He said, no, he better. I'm sorry.
He wasn't. He
I'll say-
wasn't there.
It took everything in Pierce not to go. Technically, the correct terminology is sucked, as in past tense. But he didn't. He didn't.
All right. The party, formed up, begins making their way upward. Let's get a D100 from everybody.
Oh no!
I have so much in store.
We rolling real low. That was a 27.
Oh, fun fact.
Oh hell!
Low
55.
is worse for these D100s. 55, okay, a little bit above average.
66.
66, okay, all right, okay. You guys find yourselves weaving through this ruined city. Whatever these buildings are made out of has clearly stood the test of time, as it's a ruin, but the structures themselves seem pretty sound. There's no crumbling walls, but there's a lot of rotted away tables, right? kind of a thing. So you're getting a lot of empty rooms, the occasional skeleton. At one point, you guys do find a zombie who is he's been cut. It looks like something landed on him and crushed him, because all you get is from this shoulder to the top rib here. Everything above that is there. He's got the one arm, and he's slowly just into the light.
I think very casually, without even really thinking, you see Azela point the finger and just cast Eldritch Blast. Make blank too.
Gone.
Slow down to keep moving.
Very effective pest control.
Hopefully make a bit safer for anyone else who's stupid enough, and they'll look towards the wizards. And honestly, Puff, because as far as they're concerned, Puff is amongst these four to come.
Puff has not
just-
shown great competence.
Puff sees the like the magic of the Eldritch Blast, because there's not a whole lot of magic on the farm. He's like,
Make
just
it
like
safe for
wide
anyone
eyed.
else stupid enough to come down here. Again, part of the job, I guess.
I think while we're walking, I'd ask Puff, so did you come here with us?
No, I just met you.
No, I mean... When we came to this realm, you know, floating in the sky,
Yeah. Well,
Were you
yeah.
there? You were there too?
No, because I was because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
It was a long event, and so you came in near the tail end of the bloodbath, whereas they were in the front.
Oh, okay, so it's like delayed teleportation type thing. Okay.
Well, it was multiple people teleporting in mass in a column.
Okay.
And so by the time you were in, it was already a shit show,
Okay.
and you managed to be tiny and get away.
Yeah. I was on the farm. There's a lot of guys on the farm, and then they stopped. They quickly started not being on the farm, and I tried to run, and then I was here, and there was just a lot of going on. So I just ran. I was looking for. I was trying to see if you again. Has anybody seen any other me's? Not so chunky, but like.
You mean from your world?
Just like, yeah, because
None from your world, at least not from the handful. I say it generously, not from the batch that appeared not too long ago. There are some other Harangon, but did not come at the same time, or anywhere near the same time as all of you did.
yeah, because there was
Just
Every-
us.
oof. I'm glad you guys made it out, because when it was not a good landing. It was rough. Do we know
Yeah.
why we're here?
Lady
Well,
Kathleen
we came
says,
here to invade a, sorry, and I gestured at Lady
Oh, no,
Catherine,
please,
but
if
like
you would
kind
like
of
to.
like
I'd be
half-heartedly.
keen to hear your take on it, actually.
Can you promise you won't get mad?
Yes, I think I can promise that.
Okay. We came here because of greed and because of a plan that was not fully thought through. And it kind of cost a lot of people a lot of things. Not really any other point to it.
My late husband had many failings, and one of them was a lack of listening to wiser voices. And I think he wanted to make a name for himself, and the woods in our lands, people were disappearing in them, and it was a time of peace. So I think it was selfish, ultimately. And he tossed us into the fire, thinking he could make a name for himself and fight his way out of it.
I'm sorry you guys had to go through that. He just kind of showed up on our farms one day and just demanded all of our crops.
I'm sorry about that. If we get out of this alive, you'll be compensated. I promise you that.
Okay, as long as I can keep a lookout for my family, because the farm is pretty close to. I don't know how far that thing went.
The army.
It got a lot.
Yes. I'm sure we'll be able to get you back on your feet once we get home.
Okay. Well, if you need anything, what am I good at?
Yes. What are your skill sets, friend?
I'm real good punching and kicking.
Oh.
And despite my ignorance, I can be quite sleuthy.
Cameron, the barbarian, goes, I'll give you that you can be sleuthy, but you don't look like much of a puncher or a kicker to me. And he kind of goes to stand next to you and makes a point of like looking way down to see you. And he goes, no disrespect, of course.
Well, I might not hit hard, but I hit often, and that's if you can catch me.
He's going to make a 19 insight check and just smartly back up. just kind of back away a little bit without pressing the matter. And the party continues onward. Eventually, you start coming across spider webs. Many spider webs. Until you get to a point where, think of Shelob's like cave, where eventually it starts getting difficult to pass.
Do I know if this is this normal on this path?
Unfortunately, spiders migrating around towards places of population, because they'll change the new course, and then the spiders will populate that area because that's where the food is.
Yeah. Okay. As we start getting closer to this, you see Azalea start to become more wary, very visibly looking around and trying to listen out for any signs of anything in the darkness, in the little tunnels and passageways that interconnect and come out of the main hall we're walking through. And they will, once we get to a point where it's so thick that it's noticeably getting harder to walk through, they will reach up and you see them kind of grasp part of their face just over their eye, and you hear a clicking like porcelain rubbing against each other, and you see them pull away a shard of their face. And you expect to see like blood or gore, but you don't. It looks like he just pulled a porcelain piece of their face off, and you see a deep darkness in that gap, and they'll reach into that gap, and I'm going to cast Blade of Blood and Bone as they reach into their face and pull out a long sword. You see, made out of beautifully chiseled and sharpened bone. They pull it out of their face and then put it to their side, and then you see them put the porcelain piece back in their face. And the moment it connects, it looks like flesh again. He looks like he's fully made of flesh. And then we
metal
need to keep an eye out.
Okay.
The spiders here are not a joke.
Okay.
As you say this, Drakoniques, as you say this, Azalea, you turn to say this to Pierce, and over Pierce's shoulder, a phase spider appears without any sound whatsoever. Roll initiative.
I can't be surprised.
Oh,
that's
then
true.
I've
you
got
will
a
not be
dagger
shocked.
Of, warning.
Oh,
Okay, I like it.
If that's the case, do I have time to trigger a Crimson Right as soon as I hear?
Yeah, the second you see in Azalea's eyes, the lock of like right past your shoulder, you just start going to work.
Awesome. Sick.
Music brought to you by Fantasy Plus Monument Studios.
Hey, yo, let's go with the
We
nat
got-
20.
Oh,
Yeah.
Love to see it.
all right. We got Puff with a 22, Drax with a 21. I don't know why I'm getting my names mixed up today. I'm not even mixing them up. I'm just not clicking into the character names. And Pierce with a 24. Okay. Yeah, no, okay. Pierce, you're up first. You start getting some things ready, and you register the threat behind you, and you also register a soundless, like the tops of your head are suddenly being brushed by the bristles of the spider above you on the ceiling, and you hear the click of mandibles.
Okay. So is it safe to assume that with them being like right in above us, somebody else is within 5 feet of it?
Yeah, this is kind of a
Okay.
condensed kind of. You're on a stairway, kind of going upwards, and so there's a few smaller rooms off to the sides, but they're all covered in webs.
Okay, cool. Then in that case, as I pull out the moon steel rapier, I will run it against the palm of my hand going upward, and full on Hinokami Kagura, I will just do a sweeping arc of fire above me as I activate the Crimson Rite of Flame. Trying to attack that thing. That's ass. That is a 13 to hit.
13 to hit. Hits.
No, I'm wrong. I have something. Oh, it still hits. Okay, cool. I was gonna say I have additional things because of my celerity. All right. D8. I know math. Don't yell at me. Okay.
Yell at me, I'll pee.
This will be 4 plus 5, so 9 plus 3 radiant damage, 2 fire damage, and 4 sneak attack damage. So altogether, that's math. 8.
9 plus 3 plus 4 plus what?
9 plus 3, which is 12, plus 4, which is 16, plus 2, 18.
18 damage.
Nice.
Then I'm gonna swing again!
You say
Do
that.
it again.
You say that, but you need to make a dex save, or it will be lodged up in there.
Oh no. Okay,
We can make it a strength save, actually.
okay. No, but I'm bad at that. That's a 9. No, that's a 7 actually, because it's -1.
You go to pull the sword down, you lift yourself up by accident, and for a brief moment, you're eye to eye with one of these pale, milky white blue phase spider eyes.
Oh shit.
Chat, I will put a picture in the Discord.
See what we're working with.
It's kind of fun.
I bet you it's pretty.
It's, I mean, depends on what you're into, right?
Yeah, it does. What do we say about kink shaming people?
Oh no. Call it kink concerned.
Kink concerned.
Oh, it's such a pretty blue, though.
It's a
It is-
beautiful
that is a
color.
gorgeous blue, honestly. Blue and
Too many
white.
legs, but it's pretty.
It says you.
Is this like a large creature? Or
Oh, yes.
We're talking about large. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I guess. Are we ruling that I was able to get my Crimson right before initiative started?
Yep.
Okay, then I will use my bonus action to cast Curse of the Marked on this spider, and that'll be me.
Okay. Curse of the Marked. Puff, you're up. You've got one off to your right about 10 feet, and one up on the ceiling about 8 feet away.
Okay.
With Azalea on deck.
How far is it? Just like right there?
8 feet, 10 feet.
Okay, 10 feet. I'm going to just immediately move to the 10-foot one. Just like one hop.
Just
One hop this time.
Just full send. It just boom, and then I'm going to attack it with an unarmed strike, and we'll go from there. That is 23 to hit, or no, 22 to hit,
That hits.
and I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna Fury of Blows, so it'll be 3 unarmed strikes instead of 2. So that's a 24 to hit and a. I wish I had 19 as a crit, but that's a 26 to hit, so all 3 hit.
Okay. I need to cut you off for a second because after that first hit, you need a strength check.
For my fist? Just raw strength.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 15.
15. You and lock it back in.
Do I have to do it for each time?
Now that you're aware, no.
Okay.
And that will go.
Because I was gonna be like, oof. Okay, so that's gonna be 3d8 plus 3. There it is.
Also, Pierce, a halo of fire begins to slowly blossom out from all the spider webs on all the wall, on all the ceiling around the phase spider.
All right, so that's gonna be
Whoops.
22 damage on the big beastie.
Okay.
And then bonus action. One of my Fury of Blows, I will need a dex check
Oh,
for the spider.
that's not what I needed. Dexterity. That's going to be a 13.
Beats it by 1.
Ooh.
Okay, and then we'll go oh wait, technically the bonus action would have been using Fury of Blow, so we're good.
Okay. Azalea.
So what did I witness? Just witness like both Puff and Pierce almost get their arms or weapons stuck.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. As Azalea moves into action, you hear under their breath, speaking in abyssal, a deep guttural sounding language. Unless you understand it, you probably won't know what he's saying.
Puff will
But
understand
for Puff,
I get the text.
yeah, for Puff, you'll see rather in the captions, the text you get. Warren Owed, bless his blade to strike these down. And you see chunks of the ground itself, almost like small dust particulates, small dirt particulates start to coat the blades as I use my bonus action to make this my packed weapon. And then I will use my action to charge one of these spiders, and I think as I do, you see a necrotic black energy suddenly coats the blade, and you see the tears coming down from Azalea's eyes start to shift and change to match the same color as this necrotic coating. And I'll slash at the face spider that is, I think, on Puff, like closest to Puff.
Okay.
Because I know Pierce's ability to fight. I don't know who this 2-foot bunny's ability to fight. So I'm like, let me deal with the uncertainty first. So I'm going to try and take that one.
Okay.
So first attack is 26 to hit.
If you would like to avoid the strength check,
Yeah.
you can roll at disadvantage for the first roll.
Yeah, I'll do a disadvantage. I rolled the exact same thing, 26.
That hits.
Dealing... That's 12 points of necrotic damage. Let's slash this down across the face spider. Does it look like it does normal damage? Does it look like it hurts it?
It definitely seems to react in pain, and you can see that kind of black red blood begin to ooze over the face.
Perfect. You see there's definitely like a slight, very analytic look over his eyes. He watches the scar and sees that it does damage. Let's swing again with a second attack. Does a 15 hit?
15 does hit.
Okay, dealing another 11 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh, it's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
That was a very pretty poem you said.
You speak Abyssal. We will talk about this later.
I don't.
And I'll turn to face off the other, and that'll be done in my turn.
I know the important ones, yes, no, food, toilet,
Bank.
How much is this?
ATM,
Donde está la biblioteca?
home. Okay, excellent. The phase spider that is on Pierce is going to reach out and with one of its kind of smaller face appendages boop you
Okay.
as it casts
It's just a beep.
inflict wounds. It's a melee spell attack. I'm sorry, buddy. That's nat 20.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Are
I'm-
you sure?
I'ma
'Cause
get
that's-
mine.
That's 6d10 necrotic damage.
I'm gonna get mine.
I've missed this.
Delicious.
30, 38, 46. It's an even 50 necrotic damage.
Cool.
And then it will disappear. Now, the immediate fight seems to come to a halt as the last phase spider phases away. But
Does he fall?
It teleported.
No, I meant does he fall? Because wasn't he like hanging
Yeah,
from
like
it?
2 feet. Yeah, like 2
Oh,
feet.
okay. I didn't know how big the cave was.
Yeah, it's not that big. But
Okay.
Azalea, something is itching at, like an alarm bell is going off in the back of your head, but you haven't connected why yet.
Okay.
Cameron goes, "Well done, Puffball. I apologize. I didn't even have my axe out yet. Good gracious.
Oh, puts his hand up for a high five.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah.
I like the rabbit. Sorry, the bunny. My bad.
Thank you.
My bad. I'm
Thank you.
learning.
It's a common misconception that not every Heron gun's the same.
Well,
I'm just looking around, I
Okay.
think. Especially after getting that sense of like something's wrong, but not entirely sure what. I'm just gonna keep an eye out.
you
So I can read, I
you
guess.
can make a perception check as you watch the fire slowly light up the various tunnels and holes off in the various directions that all the web is slowly being burned away.
16.
16. You feel like there is not another face spider anywhere nearby. But that alarm is still there.
Do I hear it? Because I like it sounds too, not just words. So do I see anything textually?
No.
It seems. Yeah. Puff again, not thinking of like, oh, immediate danger. Like, I don't hear nothing.
Just a gut feeling, but we should keep moving. If there's something
Kinda
wrong,
gut
it won't be any
feeling.
better just staying in one place.
It's just I understand this. The time is of the essence, but can you remove other pieces of you?
If I wanted to, yes.
We'll talk about that later. I don't understand.
Okay. They
Silly.
seem just like this is a normal thing. Like it's not that special.
It's the
for sure.
equivalent, but reversed. Like when you were like, you speak Draconic. I'm like, you can remove pieces of your face.
Drax, would you like a hint?
Yeah.
Make an intelligence check as you rack your brain for what it is that you feel this sense of dread.
Okay. Intelligence. Could have been better. It was almost a 20. That's a 17.
17?
Yeah.
What are the rules of this dungeon?
I was thinking that.
What did I do?
Not. I think they'll say this out loud. So, because I think the entire time we were walking, he's had like a very confused look on his face, like he's trying to figure something out, and he pauses and goes, "We shouldn't be allowed to teleport here, or you can, but it's not advised." I think I mentioned this when we first entered here.
Yeah.
If you teleport within these ruins, you will end up with is it the rabbit?
The rabbit.
You'll end up with the rabbit. And there's not an immediate death. You can escape, you can get out, but it's pretty low, the chances. It's always safe to just walk the ruins.
Did you say rabbit?
The rabbit, yes.
Like,
There is a creature that does not like it when you teleport around in this dungeon. It is known as the rabbit because the few that have seen it say it is slightly rabbit-like in nature. And it will try to catch you in those in-between places when you teleport.
Oh,
does he? But I'm cool if I keep jumping, right?
Yes, unless you
Oh.
teleport while you jump, which
I can't do that.
Okay, then you're fine. But I bring it up because those spiders, maybe they could teleport out, but reappearing should not be possible.
Not with any regularity, especially. Like, they should not be able to be here, like, long term, because of their nature.
Let's just keep moving.
You just tell me what to punch.
Okay.
I'm
Hopefully
gonna turn
nothing
to the
else until we get
wizards
back.
and I'm gonna be like, either of you have anything that could possibly like help me here?
What can we help you with specifically?
I'm hurting pretty bad.
Let the DM peruse his spell list.
Because Andy can put on a brave face, but Pierce, he's crying on the inside right now.
Puff just opens his little sack. He's just, I got antitoxins. I got healing potions.
I don't really need the anti-talkings. Poison doesn't really affect me anymore.
You said healing potions?
I do. I have copious amounts of healing potions because, one, working on the farm in case of injury. Two, pretty much being forced into a little like messenger bunny, just running around giving supplies to the army.
Aw.
I'm afraid I can't do
I'll
much.
take a couple of those if you don't mind.
Yeah, he's too. They're not big ones.
Nice. How we're running pots at the long shot table is you can drink one as a bonus action, but if you take the whole action, you get the maximum amount of healing available from the potion instead of rolling.
I'm drinking that.
It's 2d4 plus
Low and slow.
or whatever regular healing potion is, because I think
I think
on
it's
my
2d4.
character. Yeah, it's 2d4.
Okay.
I'll delete 2 of those from my inventory.
So you get
because I had a
2.
decent amount.
So 20 for both of them?
2d4, 8, 8, 16.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because mine says when I click the healing potion, it says +2. I don't know what that means.
Plus 2. Sorry. 20. You're
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I pay attention.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know what I'm
yeah.
on
I know
about.
things.
I got more if you need them.
I'll keep that in mind, but I don't want to, bug you.
It's all good. I don't want you to get hurt.
The party continues upwards. Now you start finding signs of life here and there. Campfires that have been put out. Maybe packs that have been left behind. You guys are moving and moving and moving. Does anyone have a pet? Does anyone have like a little animal friend?
Nope.
So no canary. I think Puff would be the first to notice being lowest to the ground. There's kind of a smell in the air, and once you lock that, you start to feel a little lightheaded. Roll a con save.
Something's just 4.
4. There's like a
No.
like a sweet smell in the air, almost like burnt sugar or molasses. And then you don't feel so good.
Just like slowly slumping. just turning into jelly. I don't feel so good.
I also am feeling a bit encumbered, I will say. And you guys watch as Atticus, also very small, just kind of leans against one of the walls and looks at Pierce with a moment of like confusion because he's not in his right mind anymore as he slides.
I'm immediately there trying to help him up to his feet. I was like, "What's going on?"
Okay, you stoop down to pick him up. You get a whiff of it. Make a con save. Azalea,
Is this a poison
very
of any
tall.
kind?
This is it's something. Yeah, I'd say this is something that you would get advantage against.
Okay. 19.
You're good. You're a little lightheaded, but you're able to function.
I'll crouch down and pick up Puff.
Make a con save.
Is this magical in nature?
Mm-hmm.
I'm immune to magical sleep.
So you're good.
As I
You're
reach
good.
down to grab Puff. Are you okay? Can I pat, gently slap their face?
Yeah. Is this something that if I stayed in it long enough, it would try and paralyze me?
It will put you under.
But no, it would just render me unconscious, not paralyzed though. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So at that point, I was just like doing those like half like trying to keep his eyes open but can't. Like you're like it smells like it's like sweet, but it's
I'll sniff the air to see if I can get this scent.
You definitely
it's
pick
just
up
like
on that,
picked up by his scruff, just like sleeping
Yeah.
while he's like in the air. Just
I think after a while, but like it probably is indecent to carry with a scruff. So I like put you on my shoulder and kind of
Just-
hold you there.
I would try to carry Atticus, but I'd like resort to just having my arms under his armpits and just kind of like dragging him.
Oh, loading stones.
From the smell, can I gauge? Have I smelled anything like this before?
Yeah, make a history check.
Okay.
Could I help with that?
You can attempt to. How would you help with the history check?
Science.
wonderful.
I point out the math. Here's how your nose
Bill Nye,
works.
Does that help?
Did you know
I
that
don't
the olfactory sense?
I'm gonna say it does not help.
Okay, cool.
But
I rolled
points
it- I
for
rolled it.
being a team player.
I rolled a 15.
15.
Yeah.
You remember reading about this. You remember reading about this, and it is a ill omen that pertains to the rabbit. You
Do I
don't know
know-
much aside from that.
Do I know ill omen how? Like, is this the
It is
remnants
a
of someone having
prerequisite to
transported?
meeting the rabbit in recorded experience.
I've never heard of this happening without teleportation. It usually happens because of it.
Correct.
Everyone sit close and stay together.
Why? What's going on?
This smell usually happens just before.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Knock it off.
Bless you twice.
I've only read about it, so I've not been stupid enough to test it myself, but this usually happens just moments before or after you've teleported and the rabbit takes notice. But we haven't done that.
Puff just repositions himself on Drex, like you're like foot on each shoulder and just hanging onto the collar, just and resisting every urge to go. Yeah, I've never read it.
I'm coming.
And just like delirious, just and like slowly pulling on your couch. Oh,
The
Okay,
noise. Oh,
I was gonna be like, Cameron, can you take him for me? As he's bleeding backwards.
What about this one?
Cameron. just like I just picture Cameron burying, like just like feeling the fur.
Big squishmallow.
Pretty
There's gonna
much.
Be, you
Like,
guys
that
gonna
is
be
the
breaking
perfect
for camp later,
representation.
and Puff, you're gonna wake up to him fluffing you and then using you as a pillow.
Just you wake me up if there's danger.
Speaking of, the sound does bring you guys to full alert as the sound of combat suddenly breaks out in one of the passageways to your right. You hear, I'm gonna do my best here. It's strange. There's two creatures duking it out, and the fight begins to move into your line of sight. And indeed, a massive hair of a creature, like rabbit-like, no fat on these bones, too many legs as well, and bloodshot eyes that look mad. Kind of this brown fur, and the whole front mouth down is stained red as it is tearing into one of these phase spiders, which is trying to bite back. And the rabbit is this hair is half bound by webs, and they are tearing into each other. And as the spider dies, as the hair finally gets its two smaller hands onto the mandibles, it breaks it open and then goes in, and one maddened red eye moves over to scan the area. That's cocked. And it does not perceive you. And begins to eat into the face of this spider. Puff, go ahead.
I was just curious, I'm assuming those are just audible noises and it doesn't actually speak.
No.
Okay.
And it is clearly aberrant in nature.
Okay.
It is not just some big rabbit.
Okay. Puff's just like wide-eyed, just like
Cam
Just
also.
That's not my brother.
just holding clenched paws on camera, just guys.
I would look to Lady Kathleen and telepathically in her mind, I'll say, do you have the energy to do it again? To hide all of you?
Yes. I'll do that now. And she carefully, slowly moves into a squatting position, puts a open palm on the stone floor, and you watch her eyes roll back. And Puff, to your eyes, nothing changes. But the same effect comes into place, Azalea, as you suddenly feel alone.
I think looking over to where Puff once was, you hear telepathically in your mind, right now I cannot see you. Lady Kathleen is hiding everyone who's not from here, from whoever is from here.
You link to Puff's mind, and it's immediate internal screaming. Just
No, we can't hear it.
That's all he's thinking. All he's thinking right now.
I will say I can't
He
read your
just
mind.
saw. Oh, okay.
I can't read your mind, I can just speak to you.
Okay. So it's just, at that point, he's just like, hello?
Yes, you can respond.
He's like whisper thinking because he doesn't understand.
Your mic is not picking you up, by the way.
Okay,
You're very good at whispering.
I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Just be still and be quiet.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Slowly. Sorry.
No, please.
Okay, I was just gonna slowly turn to Puff and be like, I'll take a couple more of those potions if you don't mind.
Can I see him?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't see all of you because I'm natively from here.
Oh, okay. So I was just like very gingerly making sure nothing clinks in the bag. Just, it's like
We're going to have
like,
you roll a sleight of hand. And if you roll a
Jeez.
1, not only do you lose a potion, but you lose a potion loudly.
Not great. 5 plus a 6. I have proficiency, so it's 11.
Very good. Deftly, you paw a healing potion over to Pierce.
I grab it very gingerly, take like a full minute to uncork it so it doesn't, and I just like kind of, and I don't take my eyes off of the rabbit the whole time.
The rabbit seems to go, like it's eating, and it's got like it right under the collarbone is where 2 smaller human-like arms come out, and that's what he's got with the 2 mandibles, and he's slowly eating his way into the face of this phase spider when it seems to stop and its ears curl, which is unnatural. Like, Puff, that feels so wrong on so many levels. From the top, it curls down until it's 2 rolls on the top of the head, and it and it seems to go into this fit of violent madness, thrashing about and smashing into the walls and then violently defacing the corpse, sprawling it about, pulling it apart, beating itself with the corpse, and even like inflicting damage upon itself a bit with the corpse. Like it's scraping at itself in this fit of as it continues to look about, and then one of the wizards just goes, casts a spell real soft like, and a distant oi, and it goes and it disappears in that direction. It teleports. It seems to run and teleport into nothingness.
In all of it.
Which I should mention, Azalea, as I hadn't thought of it, the two wizards also would be visible because they're from here.
Oh yes, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. So they're also just like, no, please.
I'll turn to the wizard that cast that spell. Good thinking.
We should go. Right?
We should go.
We should go. That was the
Yes.
rabbit. That was. He kind of gets up to you and like it's clearly trying not to panic. That was the rabbit. That was the rabbit.
And you survived to tell the tale. That could be used for your glass eye.
Let's go. Where did they go? And the other one is like, they're gone. They're just gone.
They're still
Can they
here.
only not see us, or can they hear us too? I forget how that works.
We don't know. We haven't tested it.
I'll just kind of whisper, "We're still here."
He doesn't seem to react.
See if they pick that. Okay. And well, then that's really good for us if we need to
And
live.
that's
but
the
really bad
bonkers
if we need to
thing.
communicate.
That's the bonkers thing that we discover in this moment. Homie's arm just passes through Lady Kathleen.
Well, I don't know this.
I do, man. That I will try and like reach out and touch.
Please don't distract me until
them.
the danger is past. Is the danger past? You can touch them. Valerie,
touch
thank you
the
so
wizard.
much. Oh my god. Oh, the wizard? Sorry.
Yeah.
You touch him,
Yeah.
but you don't seem to be able to grab onto him at all. But you can feel him there, and you don't feel yourself necessarily passing through. And with a bit of self-delusion required, you're able to pass through him. Like you have to believe, attempt to believe that they're not there.
I'd like to try and put my hand through the wall.
Okay. You attempt to put your hand through the wall. You believe that the wall is not there, right? That's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to do that?
I can. And I put my hand through the stone of the wall.
It passes through.
Holy shit.
You magic too?
No. That's what's creeping me out.
And then there's a moment where your eyes go a little wide and Atticus grabs you from falling through the floor.
Whoa.
And he's like,
okay,
I've got you,
alright.
I've got you, I've got you. The floor's there. Look, I'm on the floor. I'm on the floor.
Lady Kath. Yep,
Yes?
the floor's here. The floor's, it's solid.
What's wrong? What is happening? And she kind of turns to regard you guys.
Let's start moving again. And there's like a few moments where like my hands, it's almost like mud, where like they break the surface for just a second before I like pull them back up and like reassert my place on the surface. And I'm just trying to like, it's like the ground is like constantly switching forms between a solid and a liquid.
Like
And
you
I'm
sink
like-
into it almost.
Yeah, like every bit of like
Welcome to a new horror.
understanding is starting to like change.
I like how you were like, "Ooh, I've got a cool idea that we might be able to use," and I said, "Yes, but have you thought it through?" Yeah, you have to fight the mental displacement that you now have a horror kind of. The difference between terror and horror, right? Terror is the bad thing is coming and I dread it. Horror is the bad thing has happened and now I'm stuck with it. So, the revelation might be a gift and a curse to share. And currently, you and Atticus are in on it. Atticus seems to be handling it well. So there's hope.
Okay.
Puff tries to put his hand on the wall. It's just like, it's just wall. He doesn't understand. He's like, how did you do that? Do that.
Pierce will just lie because he doesn't want to risk anybody else falling through the floor. He'll just go, I forgot I am magic. I can do that.
Be careful. That seems dangerous.
Yeah. I will.
Oh, and then I like, now that the thing's gone, I still very carefully, I'm like, I hand 2 potions. I'm like, I don't got many left, but just in case that thing, no.
I won't drink it now, but just give me 1.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you. What the fuck? And like, I just let that out, and like I just start kind of moving towards Azalea, and believing that he's there. If Lady Kathleen has not let up her hand yet, I'll just give their sleeve a tug.
You, as Lady Kathleen has still got it up, you are unable to tug on the sleeve. You're able to feel it, but you're not able to interact with it.
I do think, because we've done this a few times before, the moment I see that the rabbit is at the very least not in a immediate vicinity, they'll whisper out loud, I think it's safe to bring it down now.
Okay, Cameron. And Cameron has to, like, keep her up. You know what I mean? Kind of hold on to her a little bit. And she goes, this is most indignant of me, but thank you. I'm mortified. But let us continue. I will be on my own 2 feet soon enough. She says more to herself than anything else.
Come on.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I just say, come on. What did the person say?
Oh, I just, because of the captions, I'm just like, I don't know what just happened, but you seem to have protected us. You did a good job. Thank you.
That's what my job is supposed to be. And she kind of says that with sad eyes and turns, and the party continues onward. And that's where we're going to grab our first break.
Oh, yeah.
Horrifying.
Goodness me.
Where is it? There it is. Chat will be right back.
Eek.
And we're back. Got the audio going. The party continues to trek onwards. Slowly keeping their eyes out and just being as cautious as possible. Azalea, this is the home stretch for you. This is where you're the most familiar with things. And so you've got a couple options. You can do one good push from here to get to the city. Or you could make it 2 easier and more cautious ventures, but you know of a spot where you can stop for the night nearby.
Yeah. The group keeps growing.
The group does keep growing.
I'm not used to... most I've had to do with like 3 at a time. So the initial batch of these people was already more than usual, and now it's only gotten bigger. I think I'm gonna take it. I think the choice is to take it slow,
Okay.
to go the shorter route. I mean, the longer route
Yeah.
of
Okay.
taking time to rest partway through.
Puff's gonna be like, look at Azalea. Where are we going? What's the end goal here? Because I genuinely don't know.
We're going to Realis. It's the city above. It's where most civilization nearby anyway is. And I assume you want to go to civilization.
Yeah.
One of the wizards says, civilization equals safety, from the stuff out here at least.
Yeah, because this, yeah. I'm good with that, yeah.
Okay.
Still trying to get us bearings after the intermittent nap and then shock of the rabbit.
That's fair. Can you
It's gonna
imagine
take us
being
about-
pulled down into sleep against like as much as you're trying to fight it, knowing there's a creature that will eat you? Can you imagine anyway?
Terrifying.
It's going to take
Yeah.
about
Why would you say
2
that?
days.
Why would I say that?
It's going to take about 2 days for us to get there. Gonna rest partway through. I know a safe house we keep down here for journeys like this, very similar to the one we were at earlier.
Bit of time passes, a couple of hours. Finally, because you're taking your time, being cautious, you eventually come to this specific staircase that has no doors, no windows on the side walls, and it's very high up, just into the darkness. And more stairs. You're trekking upward, you're trekking upward. And then Azalea stops, just seemingly at random. He had been keeping careful count of the steps after a specific marking that was subtly on one of the stairs. And you go up to the wall, this sheer cleft and placed mortared stone, and you pick at the mortar in between two of these kind of gray-black bricks, and to everyone else's surprise, a rope is pried from the mortar, and it slowly comes out of the slot it was hidden in along the wall, all the way up into the darkness. And Azalea gives it a bit of a shake, and small knots begin to tie themselves together like a living magic rope, allowing you to have easier footfalls for climbing. And someone kind of does a whipping motion from up top in the darkness, Azalea, letting you know that A, someone's up there who knows the rules, and B, it's safe to climb up.
All of you gonna get some rest here. From the looks of it, a friend is there too, so they might give us some information on what exactly is going on down here. A lot has changed. Cameron, do you want to go first or last? We need someone to be able to catch us or
I'll go
keep
last.
an eye out. Sounds good. I'll go first. I'm gonna start climbing up.
This takes the party a good... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how high up is it?
You can't see it, just into the
Oh,
darkness.
okay. Yeah.
This takes the party a good 40 minutes.
Gee.
And there's times where you gotta just wrap yourself around the knots and just rest for a bit before climbing onwards. Azalea, and I think the whole party would hear this, but Azalea specifically, from what is now coming into sight as this just kind of shelf, just it cuts in a doorway with no stairs or door. You hear say, "Oh, you've almost made it. Come on then, you've almost got it." And eventually a hand reaches out to help you, if you'll take it.
I grab it. Put myself up.
You're pulled up, and you recognize one of the newer members of the Held Breath. this Ewan T, this snake person, this Wantai, younger, kind of stacked, earnest, and jumpy. And he locks eyes with you and goes, "Well met, Azalea." And he looks down and goes, "I think you beat your record." And he reaches down to help up the next person until the party is fully in this alcove. Which is
telepathically.
Please.
I'd like to speak to this person. Just very short, quick words, and it just as they're pulling me up, I'll say, 7 others, none part of the held breath, 2 part of the glass eye, another organization, but no one at the held breath knows of them, and bringing them in for questioning.
Do they know of the held breath?
No.
Understood. All right, gents. Let's get some rest. And he's gonna help people in, and he's gonna dispel the illusion, and the alcove back wall kind of falls away into this bigger area with a couple of bunk beds, and you see him do a specific wave, and way in the back of this room a crossbow is laid down as this older woman stands up and kind of stretches her back, kind of goes forward. This is Izzy, who clasps arms with you, Azalea. Izzy is a mute, but is capable, like you, of mental communication and greets you as kind. She doesn't generally even say much, even telepathically, but she nods to you and greets you with more of a music, like a humming, than words, capable of words, but just kind of has an abstract mind.
Lena nods. I think we'll give the same message they gave the... What was the other person's name? I didn't catch that one.
Micah.
Micah, okay. Give the same briefing of the... Very quick briefing of the situation telepathically to Izzy as well.
He just nods along. And then makes a point of going over and seems to introduce herself to Lady Kathleen. And Lady Kathleen and her begin to have a conversation in their minds, and Lady Kathleen seems to relax a bit. Micah comes up. Well, don't mean to pry into your business, but do come in, have a seat, get some rest. We've got some food stores, and we've got some health potions if you need it, says to Pierce. And sorry to this might seem kind of cold of a question. I've been told I can be a bit unsensitive, but is it true that there are star shapes called constellations, and you use them to navigate over the ocean?
In our world?
Yeah, where you come from.
Yeah. I mean, here in this place, there's really no sky.
Yeah.
But there's a place beyond our surface called space. And
it's a nothingness, from what I understand.
Mostly. And Pierce kind of like, just thinking about how things work back home, it's kind of bringing him back down into like a place of like comfort. He kind of does just open up a little bit and chill, and he takes the time to like explain the celestial bodies, like the sun, the stars, moons, planets, and cartography, and how it was made to like kind of be a map for them.
Atticus also chirps up every now and then to fill in little bits to help you out a little bit. Surprisingly, the thing you have to kind of help Micah get his head around is that there can be something in nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And once he kind of wraps his head around that, then he kind of begins nodding along and understanding, gets interested. an eager, jumpy fellow, but he's about 6'5" and stacked.
I'm super interested because he's never had an education. He's just like, and he's also never seen the ocean. So he's like, oh.
Okay. You guys get a long rest.
While everyone's resting, I would like to pull Izzy and Micah aside and just have a conversation. And I think, especially knowing that Izzy can also speak telepathically, I'd probably make it a telepathic conversation.
Yeah.
So it very much looks like we're just hanging out, but telepathically, I'll be asking, I don't know how much you know, how much has been spread to the rest of the held breath, but an enormous amount of other world has appeared just a few days ago. A whole army's worth thousands.
Izzy speaks up. Avarice did bring us in on the last update you were able to send out. Well, that's why we have more food than usual, more potions than usual. And we've also have some weapons if you've deemed them worthy of keeping around instead of just returning to the city. If they seem of use, of value, then we've got a few things we might be able to provision them with, to your discretion, of course.
From what I've seen so far, they can hold their own when it comes to fighting. The Haragon, we just met them a few hours ago, so I can't say too much about them.
Of sleeping, and Cameron's literally got his head on his stomach. He's trying.
We came across some face spiders, and he did his part. Yes. Large ones at that, so they've been here for a while.
What of the rabbit?
Funny you mentioned that. We came across a rabbit as well.
They both look very alarmed, and Micah makes a point of like walking out to the hole and kind of looking nervously about into the darkness.
I kept an eye out. I don't think it's followed us. I don't think it was really following us in the first place. It was tearing apart one of those face spiders.
If that's true, Izzy says, then they can't have been here long. If the rabbit is triggered to attack, then the face spiders can't have been here long, which means the Sovereign only recently restocked this dungeon.
I'll be honest, I was hoping they'll just here for long and the rabbit missed them. That'd been more comforting news, quite honestly, but that sounds about right.
Of the rabbit's movements until now. We thought it was hibernating.
It seemed... I've never seen it before, so I can't say if this is normal or not, but it seems rabid.
Like feral?
Yes.
Well, we've always understood it to be mad. Maybe it's not a new development?
Maybe. I've never done anything to trigger being visited by it, so...
You must tell Isaac.
I will. I'll keep everyone noted as much as possible. But do you know what else is going on down here? The passages, the creatures I'm seeing, they seem more vicious. Do you think it's all due to the restocking?
We've noticed significantly less of the city guard patrolling this area. And you know this would be normal because you're so close to the city of Rillis. But... And Micah puts it together. They know. The guards knew that the Sovereign was putting more creatures into this dungeon ahead of time and pulled back. That or they've been killed off.
I'm not sure which one I prefer.
News from the city. The governor, curse him, has declared a holiday. And we don't know what the holiday is about yet. But there's to be a parade. And speeches at the end of it. And they've imported a significant amount of mead and dandelion wine. So they seem to mean it.
A little bit unnerving. Can't think of anything to celebrate. Other than the thousands of other worlders that arrived.
They all ponder dark thoughts with you.
Yeah. I think eventually I will take my leave and get some rest as well.
All right. The Micah and Izzy take watch.
What is Izzy, by the way? Micah's a UNT?
Human.
Izzy. Human. Okay, perfect.
With like an olive tan skin tone, you know what I mean?
And their pronouns, that you she, her?
She, they, in this case.
She, they. Okay. Thank you.
Micah is he, him.
And what was the first one?
She, they, Izzy.
Like is human. Izzy is what race?
Human.
Oh, they're both human. Okay.
Oh no, Micah
No,
is
Micah's
the
UNT.
UNT.
You want to. Oh, right. Yeah, the snake.
Yee.
Yeah.
Well, anybody got anything else they want to do in the night? Well, they've got this time to long rest.
Notes on everything that happened.
Okay.
Tinderbox if I have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one candle you had it burns all the way the rest of the way down, so you pull out your tinder and make a small fire and continue.
Oh. Puff is dead asleep, right?
Seems to be.
Yeah. Like literally what Pfaff had described earlier, where Cameron was like resting. Is
like
I'm literally
fluffing
I'm literally a pillow for Cameron's head.
I think the audience sees the moment as Azalea is walking to get their rest. They kind of look to see Puff and just kind of furrows their brow a little bit, but then sees that they are just deeply asleep, and so is Cameron. And I think less of not wanting to wake up Puff and more not wanting to wake up Cameron, because as helpful as he's been, he's probably very awful to communicate with if they've just woken up. So he's gonna be like, I'll speak to Puff tomorrow morning, and we'll sit down, legs crossed, and go into their trance.
Okay. The party wakes up, fully rested. A little bit of spring in their step. He said. Okay.
Everyone grab some rations. We have to start moving again soon.
Did you deem them worthy of future allyship? I know you deemed Pierce. You said some good stuff about Pierce. You said you didn't know Puff too well yet.
Yeah, I think I would have. That's a good point. I didn't reply to that. I think we just do a flashback and he would have said, if it means arming them to get through these ruins, that's fine. As far as being helpful to Rilis, I haven't gauged yet, and I think it'll be best to ask that in Rilis.
Very good. All right. Party sets off. Bit of time passes. And eventually, at the top of these stairs, a light, a gate, many troops, many troops, various murder holes where large ballista are able to shoot like massive crossbows through these small slits above the gate, and indeed a steel trapdoor above the gate as well. And the one on the right is clearly a minotaur. The one on the left is a dwarf. And the two of them kind of watch you from a distance as you come up. You can see many more soldiers milling about behind the gate. The gate is kind of that interlaced steel, you know what I mean? Like you could stick your arm through it and it's closed.
I walk up. Azalea, I found some people needed help, so I brought them over to Rilis. They're going to contribute.
There's a new law. We're going to need them to declare who they are. And where they've come from. For the records.
Do I know how people, or well, not people, because I think the people are probably pretty welcoming, but do I know how the law usually reacts to otherworlders?
The law has not really had anything to say about it until now.
Okay.
Because up until now, it's been one or two people every now and then stumble their way in. That's not really been that important. This was thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people who mostly died.
I think very quickly in that moment, I would like to, and if you don't think I can do this in the time given to respond, that's fine. But I want to quickly in everyone's mind say, you're from Plea, friend of Governor Balin.
You can definitely do that in time.
And like in everyone's head, you hear me say that.
From the village of Plea.
From the
and
village
the
of
governor's
Plea,
name is Balin.
and you're a friend of Governor Balin.
Just literally, it's just like, hi, I'm Puff. I'm from Play. I'm friends with Governor Balin.
Roll deception. I'll give you advantage. Because Drakoniques helped.
Deception 18.
18.
Sick.
The dwarf kind of nods. Minotaur seems to defer to the dwarf. The dwarf nods, looks to Pierce, kind of looking him up and down.
Same as him. My name's Pierce.
Roll deception. At advantage.
I was just like staring at the Minotaur,
Wait, you cut out. Just like what?
he's just like, whoa.
Big bipedal cow.
We died. I died.
19 minus 1, 18.
Let's go. Reaching club.
Nice. Okay.
18 club.
And I, of course, am Clisby from Plea. The governor is also my friend, Balin. Good dude. Went to his wedding.
As this happens, I would like to cast Hex
Okay.
on our friend, on the one that's questioning us specifically.
Are you
and-
subtle casting?
So the thing is, I get to show this off now. The thing is, with my class, I can cast enchantment spells without verbal components. Any enchantment spell, I don't have to do it verbally. So there is nothing. There's no movement.
Okay, that's amazing.
There's no movement. There's no verbal incantation. Nothing. I just look. I just casually look at them, and I'm gonna hex their
The dwarf,
wisdom.
the
'cause that's
dwarf is
useful
the one
insight.
that seems to have the say here, but he's not the one
Okay,
asking
yeah.
the questions. Do you want to target the dwarf?
Okay. Yeah, I'll target the dwarf.
Okay.
And target it in wisdom so that their insight is at disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, it's a good thing he got advantage, because our boy rolled a 1,
Oh God.
but the other roll was a 15 plus 2, so it beats the DC I set, which is now. I guess I have to start rolling active insight at disadvantage.
I mean, if it helps,
Fail.
on average, an advantage is like -3.
That does help, actually. I didn't know that. That's perfect. Yeah. All right, Lady Kathleen, and with a surprising amount of acting under her belt, goes, I'm Kate, and I'm from Plea as well, and I kind of know Lord Baylor. I was his +1 at the wedding. Okay, we're good. Versus, okay, we're good. Cameron goes, my name's Cam. Oh no, wait, that's actually not good. Okay, we're good.
Cameron, don't fuck this up.
Cam almost fucked this up. He rolled a 3. My insight was a 2. Oh my god. Okay, I hate it when it's the NPC's fault. And the wizards don't have to lie.
They don't have to,
And
yeah.
you
I
learn
wouldn't
their
have told the
names.
wizards to.
What's that?
I wouldn't have told the wizards to, so that's perfect.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, one wizard steps up and goes, I am Trickshaw. I live here. And the other one goes, and I'm Anderson. And I also reside in this location. You hear the scribbling of someone behind the gate writing these things down.
I'll just say, I probably heard about it, but there's been some unfortunate acts of arson in Plea, so some people lost their homes. So I'm helping them relocate the ones that lost their homes.
Illegal fire. And you see the Minotaur looks mad at this. And you see the jaw set. You see the fists kind of curl around the maces that are by his side, the 2 maces. And he kind of, good job bringing this to us. He looks at you with eyes that probably could kill puppies and not blink. Just very dead eyes.
May I ask, before you let us through, when did this law take place? I've only been out for, what, a few days now?
Yeah, a few days ago.
Any idea why?
Yeah, it's not on my job.
Yeah.
The dwarf looks at the Minotaur, and you can see kind of a suppressed eye roll before he kind of cocks his head at you, Azalea, and kind of looks you up and down and kind of raises an eyebrow that indicates, you could probably buy that information off of him.
Oh.
There's the
I think
lawful and the crooked.
I meet their gaze, and I think without really changing any real facial muscles in my face, acknowledge the offer, but also say no in that same look of just not interested enough to give you money.
All right. Let him in. Sorry.
He's dying.
into
the city of Rillis we go.
Of just as we enter the gates, just like, because I'm assuming, I'm just picturing him still riding on the back of Cameron, just like looks at the Minotaur. Good job guarding the gate.
He's gonna make an insight check. He can't tell if you're mocking him, and he just
No,
kinda,
I'm genuine. I'm 100%
right,
sincere.
but that's the insight check.
Yeah.
People do this to
Just
me all the
big-
time. I'm being
Yeah.
genuine, and then people have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
People think I'm
Just genuinely like just smiling. Just
yeah, and he just kind of squints at you as you go on past.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Excuse me.
I am mocking him.
Oh, are you?
Is that in
Oh
character?
yeah,
Okay.
but I'm acting like I'm not.
Insight check. He can't tell. And he kind of squints as Puff goes past, and then as you say that, what'd you say your name was? Turns.
Me? Yeah, Pierce.
He nods to somebody, and now because you've kind of started walking through the gate, you see this kind of wizened elf who marks something next to your name and gives you a tight smile.
Some bullshit.
Smells like it. Why don't you keep going?
I didn't say that. Out loud.
Okay. But he does kind of, go on, Pierce.
Now move on.
Okay. He goes back to squinting at the rabbit. Or sorry, the bunny.
I was not even looking. He's just staring at the city. Wow.
He's in.
I've never been to a city before.
All right, so this city is kind of neat. It is a multi-tiered city, so you'll see many quote-unquote highways, which are just really big spiral staircases, and there will be main roads connecting each spiral staircase to other spiral staircases. That's kind of the primary means for the average person to get around. But because this city is so stupid old, there are buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings, and many rooms that have been walled off to make new room arrangements. And so you see a lot of these multi-story buildings that maybe used to be one half a different building and one half another building that have just been re-walled off on the inside to become a new building. So it's a tangle. It is a tangle of a city. But now that you're here, it seems that things have been kind of cleared away by comparison, and you've got kind of a big area over top for each individual floor. To get to the ceiling of each individual floor is probably 15 to 20 feet. So you can get two-story buildings on a floor and still kind of perceive each other. Obviously, these buildings have their own means of access to go up and down. So at any point in time, unless you're like moving a cart or you are carrying something that would require you to have the proper way, you can probably, in the same way you would run down an alleyway, run up an alleyway. It's just a matter of getting into someone's house and seeing if there's a way up. But beautiful market area. You can see all these different balconies with all these tapestries kind of on the walls. You can see cobblestones, and you can hear horses moving back and forth on these long pavement ways. Weir lights and kind of gas lamps. And this beautiful humdrum of a city kept safe from the outer ruins of this city. And it's bustling. People are moving all about, crying their wares, moving from place to place. Already, Azalea, you're obviously already at home here. And so you already know how you might navigate about, but you can see various taverns and even a school and stuff like that. And you're finding all of the trappings that you would find in what you would expect to see a city, leather workings and the like. Well, maybe the less stinky stuff, because once you get to a tannery, that's kind of heinous and smells, so that would be farther away. But you can see various guards moving about. The guards do seem to be given quite a wide berth. which is a bit of information on how the people see what you learn quickly to be the tyrant that runs this city. This particular tyrant's name is, sorry, that's not the right name. This governor, this baron that runs this city is an archdevil, and is roughly 15 feet tall, and is straight up from hell. And what you learn quickly is that these tyrants keep their people in line because they're keeping everyone safe from the outside of the city. The sovereign put them in power, and the tyrant fears the sovereign just as much as everyone else. So he will not fail the sovereign, and if that means a vice grip on his city, then so be it. You see, other things, being from away from here, might hit a little more troubling than someone who grew up here. You can see the stocks. You can see the proud gallows displayed off in one side, and the like. Other indicators, the occasional gibbet, and little things that show that these are a people under a tyrant. The furtive glances that are a bit more held at bay. If you were to pass, people are not spending too much money because people are worried. Now, Azalea, there hasn't been a mass death on behalf of the sovereign for a couple hundred years. So now the sovereign has passed into more of a mythos. Don't say the sovereign's name. They might hear you. Don't speak ill of woe and Oed, stuff like that.
Can I get a quick reminder? Is the sovereign the name we say instead of her name, or is the sovereign her name and we don't?
Their
say
name
that?
is the sovereign, and
Their name is
demands
sovereign,
that
okay.
everyone refers to them as the sovereign.
Okay.
Everyone calls them the Spectre
The
when
Spectre, okay,
behind
cool.
closed doors, or the Ghost.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, as we go in, I'll lead everyone through the kind of almost labyrinthian maze that is the city. And I think the first course of action is to get them to... Where do I usually bring otherworlders that I find? Like, what's
Well, depends on what they need. You can bring them to a tavern. You can bring them to a hospital. If you like them enough, you could bring them to your headquarters. But that's kind of out of the way. That'll be a bit of a journey. But there's multiple taverns, 2 nearby that you would be relatively comfortable in. That you might find friends. But there's other taverns nearby that you don't know much about.
Yeah, I'll turn to the group and go, what do you need first, rest or food?
I could eat.
Puff?
I haven't eaten since I landed here, so yeah.
Okay.
Food sounds good.
I'll
Literally
let-
was just rubble. And him running for his
True,
life.
yeah. I hadn't really thought of that.
I'll turn to the others and just basically proffer the same question. Food or rest?
Lady Kathleen says, food sounds good, but then safety, please.
You'll get all of those, don't worry. This is more of what we want first.
She looks around, taking in the city.
I'll lead them to the tavern, the one that I can... Is a tavern also an inn, or is it just a tavern?
It is also an inn, yes.
Also an inn, okay, cool. I'll go to the tavern inn.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make your way over to... Hang on, I gotta pick one.
Actually, is the last star...
Oh.
I heard when we met Lucas we got told about Lucas from Jameson. So there's someone named Jameson who is down in Plea, because I think they're running away from
That's right.
someone who was, because they were in debt. And they asked me to speak to Lucas, who's a barkeep at the Last Star.
Yep. You want to go to the last star?
Yeah.
Okay. You begin making your way through this city. Roll D100s.
Puff just riding on the back of Cameron. Cameron, look at that. Look at that. just pointing out anything that Cameron could see. Just turning his head, like positioning.
He's gonna grab you and put you down.
I got a 62.
Okay.
I got 55 again.
I got a 77. I don't know how I keep rolling these doubles.
We keep getting doubles.
That's cool.
Okay.
And they keep getting higher, which I'm concerned about.
Pierce,
Yeah.
you're going along, doing your thing. You there? You there? Yes, you. Come here. You see an older woman in this kind of big shawl. In this kind of shop, but it's got bits of cultic symbolism, here and there. You see a couple of bones, dangling down, and she seems to be flipping these dragon knuckle bones in her hands, and she goes, "Come, for just a little bit, I will tell you what to expect."
You a fortune teller?
Fortune and misfortune, woe and whimsy, they go hand in hand, child. Come.
I don't.
Come sit
Are
and let
the others
Auntie
still
Martha.
around me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. No offense to you. I understand that magic is very real. I'm more of a man of,
She tosses something at you. Do you catch it?
Gotcha.
It is one of these dragon knuckle bones. And you can see various runes have been carved into it.
Thank you.
You'll be back. You'll later want to be here, and you can bring it back to me then. Let it get to know you a little.
Okay. Martha?
Auntie
said your name was?
Martha?
Auntie Martha. Okay.
Puff just reading the text that's appearing. Just like looking.
And I'm gonna start walking along with the rest of the group, and I'll just take like a piece of cloth and cover this bone,
Okay.
put it in my pack.
Okay.
That's some curse shit.
That's why Puff was like, what am I reading?
Yeah, I also like to think that while you're here, it's just like, when chat's going too fast?
Yeah.
And you can't read it? It's just
Seeing snippets of like
you're like scouring chat for like...
well, because again, I can brush away anything I don't want to focus on.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. There you
So
go.
when I hear what would be Pierce talking, I'm hyper fixated on that because I'm like, in theory, he's the only one in the group that's like actively talking outside of the group, so that's gonna take primary focus. But yeah, he's not gonna interject. He's just like, what do you? Also, he's low to the ground, so most people don't notice him.
Yeah, there you go. You turn to watch Pierce walk away, and you catch a glimpse of Auntie Martha kind of just watching him go and wringing her hands with the knuckle bones in them.
And then as soon as we turn the corner and she's out of sight from me, I will reach in my bag, take the bone out, and just kind of place it on a random street corner.
Okay.
And I'm like, ugh, not my thing. Don't like it.
That's fair.
Puff's gonna pick it up.
Yes. 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 Oh,
Puff doesn't know
yes.
any better. He doesn't know what he got. He just like literally just picks it up and like unfolds it. He's like,
Good job.
Just
This
put it
is
in like
pretty.
his sock, you know, without him noticing.
Above table, such a good play. Such a good play.
just picks it up. It's just like, and just tosses it in his bag. Doesn't even rewrap it. Just tosses it in his bag. Just like,
Yes.
just walks. He doesn't want, like, again, I come from a very we don't waste things
good.
in the farm.
Yeah. Let me get my tavern music up real quick.
That might
As
be
we
worth
make it
something.
to
I don't
the-
know.
to the
I don't know the
final
rules
level.
Probably
here.
is.
Try and sell it.
Yeah, there you go. Bop. Bop, bop. Sorry. Taking a second. All right. This tavern has a surprisingly nice wooden floor that kind of clicks under your boots as you walk in. It's not packed, but it's definitely in full swing of the lunch rush. Let's say, kind of warmer tones here. You've got a fire hearth in one side, and a strange contraption that looks like dry ice that seems to eat up the smoke instead of a chimney. You can see off in one corner this kind of a dartboard game going on, but they keep a thread on the dart and they're trying to make like a tic-tac-toe-esque game where you're weaving and trying to counter weave up against the dartboard. Various species are seen all around. If you can think of it, it might be there. You got quite the spread here. You can smell the kind of old beer and that pinch of hard liquor. Oh, we don't have beer here, do we? We have dandelion wine.
Yeah.
Vodka.
We don't have vodka
yet.
yet. That's for you to.
I do.
Yeah. And cooked meat, kind of wafting like spices, kind of hit you. Heavy spices, you know, they go a little heavy with the seasoning in this house. People are maybe a 5 out of 10 on the energy level, and you can see this. This I believe he was a dwarf. The lad down in Plea. Was he a dwarf?
Oh, it was a halfling.
He was a halfling. Okay.
Yeah.
The halfling behind the counter. The entire back end of the bar is built for a halfling. So it's kind of on this higher level, and he's kind of standing there, and you can see kind of down to his waist, you know, lying a little bit, and he's kind of moving back and forth, helping everybody out. He's got a couple dishes. He's currently placing a bet of a shot to one of his patrons, one of his regulars, and it's involving the dartboard in some way, shape, or form. A couple of Weirlights kind of move about the ceiling, and they seem pseudo-sentient in their own way as they kind of flit about. You can see a few staircases. One goes up, one goes down, and a small stage off on one side that is empty.
I'll walk in, lead the group in. Blaster. You five, and I point at the other worlders specifically. Pick what you want and I'll cover the pay. You two, and I point at the two wizards. That's going to be on your tab.
No worries there. Trickshaw says. Anderson kind of looks a little affronted, but Trickshaw shoots him a glare. Where you go in the we're in the inn. You've got various tables, a couple of booths. You've got the bar itself.
I mean, I'll go to the bar, but I think I'll pick a table and just sit for a bit and wait for everyone to get their food, get themselves sorted out.
Okay. Everyone sits at the table, and in short time, a satyr kind of bounds over and goes, "Hi! What can I get you? What do you need? What you want?
Bread.
Bread? Got you. Oh, do we have bread here? We don't have grain, do we?
I think we have grain.
We have grain? Okay. Bread. Got you.
I'll take some bread and some meat and
Some bread and some meat. Very good. Some honey butter? Go on the bread?
Do we have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got honey butter.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what everyone comes around here for. They don't come for the bread. They come for the butter.
I need
I'll
a
just
lot
have-
of bread though.
I got you.
I'll just have some soup, if that's okay.
Some sleep. Very good. Are you looking to rent a room? Are you all looking for rooms? We've got two to a room, but we've got one room that's like kind of cheaper, but you know, there's like 10 bunk beds in there. You know what I mean?
If we could take the cheaper room with the bunk beds, that'd be great. If I could
All right,
book that for the next
a
couple of
copper.
days.
That'll be a copper a head, and that's just through the downstairs over there. You don't get any keys or anything like that, but that'll be a copper a head, and the bread will be a copper a loaf, and a silver for each butter spread.
Puff just like rummages his bag and then just like pays for everything. There you go.
I've never seen a coin like this.
Is it still good?
Yeah, it's still good. Insight checks. Party. Where did my music go? How dare.
Definitely do an insight check there.
Insight 12.
Not great. 13.
19.
19. Pierce. Because you asked, is it still good? Yeah, definitely. She does seem to go back to the bar where the bartender kind of leans over and looks at the coins, and she relatively discreetly points out the table, and you don't see like, oh, that's them kind of a look on the bartender. You just see kind of a puzzlement, and then nods, takes the money, puts it under the counter.
I'll give him like a subtle like half wave, like not even like a full, like I'll kind of just lift my hand off the table just to acknowledge that I saw that, like in a friendly way as I can, like not like a you better not snitch on me, but like more like a
Sure. Okay. Roll for me persuasion. I would like to convince him that everything's fine.
oh, I'm great at these.
Oh.
I'm not.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not bad. That's 16 plus 3, 19.
19. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So we wouldn't have honey. We'd have maple though. So anyway, he kind of just gives you like that dude nod. You know what I mean? Gives you the because there's two different nods when you get on the elevator. There's friend and sup. He gives you the sup.
Valid.
And continues about his business.
I just sorry.
No,
I was just
please.
like address the table and just be like, thank you guys for helping me. It means a lot.
Yeah, no, it's no problem.
It's not like you were a freeloader about it.
It's true.
Yeah, I would say, as lucky as we were that they didn't seem to make much of a fuss about it, maybe don't wave around your currency here, especially with the new law.
Oh, is our money no good?
I mean, apparently gold is gold, but it is noticeably not from here.
Oh.
That would
And-
have the Emperor Barst on the coinage. who is a level 20 bard. King of all of Whistling. King of an entire continent.
Is there a way that we could exchange our money? Because I feel like
You can work.
Okay.
Yeah. Or find someone
And
to
you can-
melt them down and reshape them, or because it's still copper, silver, gold, here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I won't lie to you, I'm not going to do the exchange rates. But metal is metal, and they seem to be relatively the same coinage. For ease for our purposes, it'll be relatively the same coinage.
If it were in truly any other situation, literally days before now, it wouldn't be much issue. But it seems like they're cracking down on who comes in and out.
Any particular reason you think they may be doing that?
Only thing I can think of is the incredible amount of people who appeared with all of you. That's not normal. We get some stragglers here and there, but at most it's been 2 or 3. I think the most I've seen has been 5. 2 of them died on the way back. But you had a whole army show up. Had to be in the thousands.
To that point, Lady Kathleen says, there's going to be more people. We set it so that the supplies for said army would begin. We have a entire chain, a supply chain, slowly and methodically entering this land through the forest, and they all have their orders. We knew we wouldn't have a way to. We thought we wouldn't have a way to communicate back with them, so they're set to come in on a slow, steady slaughter.
To be honest, there's not much we can do about that.
Not yet.
I've paid for, well, I was going to pay for it, but Path paid for lodging for all of you for the next couple of days. Beyond that, unless you can find coin yourself, I'm not sure how much I can do for you with lodging. There are some abandoned buildings on the edges of town. Not all of the homes are being used at the moment, so you can maybe hole up there. I can speak to some friends to see if they can set you up with something more permanent as well. But at least for the next couple of days, you should be set.
Thank you.
Yeah, but thank you. I gotta find a. Thank you for getting us through the tunnel.
It's my job.
It's not an easy job.
No.
And I'm sorry for the people you lost. It can't be easy.
You have to keep moving.
Yeah.
As an aside, just in case anyone's curious, Offbeat and Lexi's characters stayed back in Plea.
Bit as much.
Still fighting to this day.
They likely would be looking into the arson and helping out the small village of Plea from there. So all of those little story bits, aside from needing to be informing others, are kind of self-contained.
I think as we sit there, underneath the table, I think as subtly as they can, they're not really trying to hide it from anyone at the table, but trying to hide it from the greater bar. They kind of wave their fingers, and for anyone who does see this, you see almost peeling away from the shadow they cast on the floor. It seems to peel off the ground itself and takes physical form in his hand in a pitch black book that he pulls out from underneath the table and sets it down on the table surface, and they'll flip it open. And in the other hand, another strip of darkness kind of tears away from their shadow and forms into like a fountain pen. Puff is your name, correct?
Yep.
He'll hand you the feathered quill and turn the book and push it towards you. And you write your name in there.
Okay. I mean, Puff doesn't second question anything. He's just weirdly because of the fact that he is a meticulous note taker in terms of journaling and stuff, especially since it's also just because he has to do it for crops and stuff to just, keep notes of how the farm's doing. He just very surprisingly fancy handwriting for a farm bunny. Here you go.
And you see it's all of the pages are pitch black as well. Like everything is black, but as you write in it, you see the ink come out as white on the black paper. Ooh. And almost immediately, they don't even reach for the book. The book dissolves into shadow and rejoins the rest of Azalea's shadow. That should keep you alive if anything goes wrong, at least for a bit longer, so we can help.
Okay. Well, thank you. Oh, Puff is like bulb. To answer your question, because I can't speak whatever you spoke.
Oh,
if that's what that was.
Yes.
It's an heirloom. It's from a very long ago. I think it's my dad said it was my like great like I don't know how many greats it was, but and then Puff just like touches his it's like a cuff around one of his ears. He's like, this is how I can, and then I just kind of like explain what the earring magical properties are, which allows me to like literally visually see sound in text form. And I'm like, yeah, so like it helps really on the farm because like, we need to sell to multiple people. We need to be able to convey that to somebody that we might not,
Azalea, that might be one of the single most useful things you've ever heard.
Yeah.
For your
Closed
faction
captions.
specifically.
And Puff doesn't understand how like this could be rare and like dangerous to have. He's just like, yeah.
That part, because there's a lot of withheld, you would know, Azalea, a lot of withheld information. The narrative is very closely controlled as to what the people get to know about here in Rillis or anywhere within Moen Oed. And there have been various documents and old stone tablets tucked away that you guys have been unable to parse all this time.
Azalea just kind of watches, and I'll roll for it. I'll roll to see how much I can hide my...
Let's get insight checks from the rest of the party, yeah?
Yeah, would this be deception?
Oh my
or
God.
performance? I think it'd be deception.
That's a nat 20.
Feels
Okay,
like
damn. I don't think there's anything I can do about
That's a
that.
natural 20 for me too.
Oh my God! And both of the people who come from whistling lean in.
You definitely notice. I think it's very slight, and the nat 20 is what lets you see this because I rolled a 22, but it was a nat 20.
Oh, wow!
That's how we got all high
Good
rolls. Let's go.
heavens.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it was actually a pretty low roll for me just because I'm charisma based, so deception's pretty good for me.
Everyone locks in for a thing.
But you definitely notice like a slight like eyebrow raise as you start explaining the way your heirloom works, and I think at least very much definitely for Pierce, but maybe a little bit less so, but still noticeably so. You've been around Azalea enough to know that he doesn't really express much face like with their face, so that is enough to be like, okay, there's actual interest here. Whether what you discern from that is up to you. But
Maybe you
do
sit
notice
up a
those.
little bit. Maybe there's just little tells,
Yeah.
I picture the shot in Avengers: Age of Ultron where Cap makes the hammer move just a smidge, and you
Yeah.
see Thor kind of just go.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Pierce does.
It's giving stoicism, and I'm here. For
Yeah,
it.
apparently before we were farm we owned the farm. But there's we were like very big into, I guess, not so much in the last like I want to say like 3 or 4 generations, but I guess we have lineage in like espionage and like sneaking around and learning stuff because we're kind of small. and then kind of sneaky.
So some assassin made it rich and went and got his happy ending
pretty
with
much.
a farm on a hill, and then
Pretty
a couple
much,
generations later, an army moved onto that hill and dragged
just
you into the
over many generations of Harengon, it's just been like, yeah, this is gonna help us sell crops.
Azalea just says, again, usually Realis is relatively welcoming. It's become a refuge for many people. But with the very sudden change in law and the pressure to can only assume find other worlders, I'd probably keep that to yourself.
Okay.
If you can.
Yeah. Making mistakes. I'm sorry.
Honestly, better to make them now when it's not lethal.
What's
That
not
is
lethal?
fair.
Says the bartender who pops up off the
Poison.
side of the table.
Poison if you got an antidote.
Oh, well, that's no good.
You got the bread?
He brings over the very hot loaves and chilled maple butter that's like been whipped.
Salivating.
Yeah. And of course, for Pierce, out comes these almost prosciutto, thin slices of very seasoned meat. And you see he puts like an extra one down on your plate and gives you the same nod, and brings out the dandelion wine. Is it dandelion mead? No, dandelion wine. And starts pouring that around and goes, "So where are you from?" Says to Pierce.
Lee.
"Oh, Plea."
Yeah. We were having some trouble with the, the arson down there, and
I've got a
lost my,
brother in Plea.
oh, maybe I met him.
Maybe you did. Was there a
Do
halfling
you
down
know-
there? Is he doing well?
Actually, yeah, and I'll step in. He actually spoke about you. You're Lucas?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, we met Jameson down there.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. And he pulls out one of these silver coins. Is this Lord Balin then? He says, making a face. No, that is no. It's clearly not Lord Balin. But he says it with no spice in it because you clearly know his brother. So he believes a part of this story. And now he's kind of maybe trying to get a little money. Maybe just being chummy.
I would like to roll an insight check to read
Yeah,
them.
go ahead and roll
Because
an
my
insight
response is going to depend on what I get from them. Cool, my turn to get a nat 20. I got a nat 20 in my insight.
Let's go.
Oh my god. There is there's a greed here. And you're not a mark. You're a potential wealthy patron. And so it's the same kind of manipulating and schmoozing, but he's just trying to get you to spend money. And that greed with a natural 20, if you remember hearing from his brother, he will likely be under fire from the debt collectors because his brother ran.
Yeah.
So Lucas and his tavern and his inn here needs to come up with some money. And there is a tension. There is an unspoken grudge against his brother for putting him in the place he's in.
Your brother told me a little bit about his whole situation. Ended up bonding quite a bit while we were down there. Him helping us with the arsons and all, obviously.
Really? It's not like him to go out of his way for someone else.
Yeah, no, he mentioned you asked if I could check in, make sure you're okay.
That does seem to kind of melt the iciness. Is he doing all right? Is he?
I'll be entirely honest with you. Not fun company to be around, but he's alive.
It's the best we can ask for, I guess. Was there anything else?
I'd love some soup.
Oh, we can get you some soup.
And if you need any help with the situation, let me know and I'll see what I can do.
I was gonna kind of look around a little bit, see if any of the staff heard that. Well, I won't lie to you that we're in a bit of a pinch. But why would you help me? What do you want from me?
I'm not doing it for free. You're gonna help me in return. Give my friends here a bit longer of a lodging if they need it. Without the extra pay.
He looks to Puff. You gonna cause any trouble?
Not intentionally.
Looks over to Pierce.
I take a piece of bread and I'm just spreading maple butter on it. It's like, don't worry, I clean up after myself.
Looks to looks to Atticus, who is like trying to look as unproblematic as possible. Lady Kathleen
Clean up
is
after him too.
Lady Kathleen is pretending not to be a part of the conversation and is meticulously also buttering her bread. And Cam, he kind of does a double take on and goes, "That's a lot of mouths, but
I can make it better. They're going to need money anyway, so how about they work here? Again, at least until they can get their footing."
I'm real good at cleaning.
I can't say that I need any help in that department, but if you're willing to help me with these debt collectors, I'd consider that a drinks on the house, you know, for as long as you're around."
What if I could say I could double your profit?
He's going to sit down. He's going to take himself a seat, start buttering him some bread as well, and gestures for more butter and bread before being like, "It's a weird Tuesday. What you got for me, Chief?"
Yeah. I'll reach back into my bag. I'll pull out the vodka
Okay.
and I'll place it on the table. It's like, I know this isn't much.
It's water.
It's not. Go ahead and open that stopper up, and I'll reach into the bag again, pull out one of the last potatoes I have.
What? Hole in the
That's a
ground.
little
Did you pull this
That's
out
a
of?
little. That's a little something that I like to call vodka.
You drink this?
Not purely, but it's a good additive to drinks to make them a little bit stronger, give your patrons a little bit of a funner time. They come from these.
It's a rock.
It's a potato.
What's a potato?
It's a vegetable.
Puff goes, oh.
This is vastly different. How do you not know what a potato is?
They're from different parts of Wowinoid. Some places have them, some people don't. I'm lying through my teeth.
Puff just looks, what's a Wowenwood?
He's gonna take a
You're
sip.
already drunk, buddy. That's not even the best stuff that I can make. You give me some
so
time
strong.
to grow some more of these.
So strong.
Yep.
Oh
Don't
my
don't
God.
go too hard. Don't, and I'll kind of like lower the bottle a little bit.
You don't drink it straight.
You add some of this to a few of your drinks, I guarantee you this place will be the talk of the town. And I can make more. Just need a little time.
How much more?
How much do you want?
I've got an empty barrel the size of... Looks at Cameron. I got room.
Oh. And then frickin' Puff looks at Pierce because he like his like another light bulb moment. You guys have soil here? like just like fertile soil.
He's only been
Because
in,
again-
in the mega city.
Because it's just like, yeah, again, I was just in ruins and then a tunnel and then this city, and like, because like if you can take that potato and make more potatoes.
I know they have a few beginning to be grown in Plea.
And I can write down the steps on how to make more potatoes.
That'd actually be great.
He's a farmer.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Puff.
Let's get you some more food, shall we? And
Yeah.
he's gonna he puts a couple of keys down. You guys
Just pass them.
get those back to me whenever you need. And he's gonna.
Didn't catch your name,
My name is Lucas.
Lucas.
Well met.
Gotcha.
He's an older halfling, maybe in his mid-50s, a little portly, but he looks, for the first time, like you know how if a person's got their face set in the way for a long enough, they eventually get like wrinkles of that from that facial expression. You see a lot of you see all that go away because of the tan lines change, if you will, of the wrinkles. There's no sun here. As an unusual face he's unaccustomed to, and that is wakefulness. He seems to have some pep in his step. Maybe it's the liquor, but he very much is got more. He's got wind in his sails, and he gets up and he's like, "Whatever you need." What was your name?
Pierce.
Pierce, Puff,
Azalea.
Azalea. Thank you. And he gets the names from the rest of them. He goes, "Thank you, strangers."
Yep.
Hey, thank you for the food.
Yeah. He's just gonna, a bit puzzled, walk away.
Puff's gonna take his journal out and just start writing down the instruction, like instructional, like basic how to, like plant and grow potatoes. Just
I will take the bottle and kind of just turn back to the rest of the group and kind of go,
Okay. Well, that seems to have worked out. So I am going to speak with some friends of mine, let them know that I'm back, especially now that you have a place to stay. And it seems like a fairly stable one at that. I don't need to be at your side too often. But I will be back just to make sure everything's okay and see if we can get some kind of thing going between Rillis and Plea.
Okay.
If Pleas are ready, farming, we might as well make it with an industry of it going back and forth between all of us.
Okay. All right. Seems like a good spot to grab our second break.
Right.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Oh no. I wasn't ready.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Thought
sorry.
I was ready. Wasn't ready. Okay. If there is anything else to be about, Azalea, you strike off into the city proper. It starts raining, which is a little weird to think about in this particular city that where the two mountain peaks meet and a city was built in between the two. What this looks like is fog, and it's preluded with trickling water down the sides of walls and finding more ways to head away from the center point of the city. This kind of fog kind of rolls in and kind of makes everything just covered in dewy droplets, you know? And that kind of snakes its way. Weaving through this city all by your lonesome. Any what are some common sights that kind of reassure you and ground you into, okay, I'm back in my city. You know, this is I'm not out on the run anymore. I'm not immediately in danger from forces, that could be monsters and stuff like that. What are some usual locations and such that you would pass by?
I think I think, especially now that I'm not with people who are potentially outsiders, I think I see the looks I get from everyone else seem much more comfortable. As comfortable as you can get living under
Right.
what we live under. I definitely get some like very general, like kind, genuine waves and nods of hellos and byes and greetings. Again, maybe get a little update about like an elderly dwarven man, or are dwarves native here? No. They're
Yeah,
not,
you can
are
find
they?
dwarves
Oh,
here.
yeah. Okay, cool. I think like an elderly dwarven man like pulls me aside and just gives me like a very quick update about the most recent kind of carving he's been working on. That he told me the
Oh,
same thing over and over again, that it came to him in a dream, or the spark of inspiration just hit him and just had to keep moving his hands to produce this thing. I think for anyone, the others don't see this, but I think you see a much more conscious effort to like achieve these pleasantries of like, it seems like Azalea generally wants to converse with these people, to give these people company, to help these people. And he'll part ways with this dwarf and continue walking through the city. You see in the interim that space where gravity cancels out to a net zero. Probably see some kids playing different kind of sports, like something that seems similar to football, something similar that seems similar to soccer, but in this three-dimensional space they
Three-dimensional.
can work in. You hear some father or mother yelling at a kid that they've been out playing in this space for way too long. They need to come in for dinner. And I think we get, I imagine, actually you can tell me this, but I imagine the Held Breath HQ is like on the outskirts, or is it in the
Yeah,
center?
yeah,
On the outskirts.
definitely tucked away somewhere.
Yeah, so as time goes by, I'm walking for maybe 10, 20 minutes, maybe even longer. I reach the edge of town, and even past the edge of town where the last known inhabitant lives, I walk another 10, maybe 20 minutes deeper in, further out into the city, this mega city that barely any of really is inhabited by, considering the size of it, until I reach the HQ of the
Yeah,
Held
the various
Breath.
security bottleneck points would be farther out, so this is technically still within the city of Rillis, but it's a little emptier for sure.
Yeah.
Skirting your way through, you get up to a specific room and kind of make your way into this empty room and move your way to the back. And after murmuring a few things, a door kind of moves out from the wall and moves to the side, and this well-to-do Iwanti kind of is standing on the other side and looks to you, recognizes you, and bids you enter. Their name
Thank you.
is Essent.
Essent. Essent. Okay.
Esent.
Does he have a title?
She does
Or
not.
just she? Okay.
This room is immediately different from the room that was outside. This is much more ornate. This is staggering marble floors, a massive sea serpent skeleton kind of suspended from the ceiling. Everything here is in deep reds and even deeper purples. Various ornate pillars, and you can see various rooms on a second story of these closed gated rooms that are closely guarded, and you know that there's arcane protections on them leading into various nooks of libraries and people working very hard on deciphering things. You can see various maps, people moving back and forth. There's a lot of people who recognize you, and at one point someone comes up and kind of claps you on the shoulder. This is Henderson, and Henderson is a kind of he's one of the more capable individuals, but is one of those types that's a natural leader, doesn't want to be in charge, doesn't want any duties, stuff like that, but good fighter in a pinch, and so he gets sent out a lot. And so it's rare that both of you are back at the same time. And Henderson comes over and claps you on the shoulder and goes, well met. It is good to see you back in one piece.
Good to see you back in one piece too. Honestly, with how much you've been going out, I've been thinking more and more you'll be losing at least an arm.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. I will die one day, though, surely.
We have a lot of work to do before then.
Yes. Try not to put too much on your plate. Claps you on the shoulder and keeps on walking. Hefts his pack and leaves the building.
I'll keep going. I want to speak to was it Senior Isaac that gave me the initial mission with the plaque? Okay.
Yeah.
I wanna see Senior Isaac.
Okay. You have to wait a little while by this beautiful fountain. Looks a lot like the fountain you saw earlier in the campaign. And eventually this shorter lady comes out and goes, the senior will see you now.
Yeah.
You step into this opulent office where this ancient individual is kind of bundled by the fire. Like someone has clearly like bundled him. You know what I mean? He looks like he's so old he might not be able to easily get out of the bundle, but he is by the fire and turns weary eyes towards you and goes, Azalea.
Senior.
Come, sit, tell me everything.
Ugh. They kind of groan as they take a seat. They're very much like the old men groan as they take a seat, bang their joints. They seem spry, but I think it's more of a soul exhaustion than a physical one. The plaque, and I'll reach in and pull out the slate and set it down on the table. Didn't lead to much, honestly. It led to a fountain, a well, actually, in the center of a town, but the well was empty as far as I could see, and quite honestly, I didn't have much time to investigate because, as I told you, over the looking glass, the spectre showed up. Not just a spectre. There had to have been thousands of other worlders.
Thousands?
It was an army, and from the sounds of it, more are going to be coming soon.
We put as many people into the field as we could. And you're the first to return as you were closest. But I must say, the tyrant has reacted in a way we did not expect. He's throwing a holiday. Critical Dice, thank you for the raid. He's throwing a parade, declaring a holiday for what we've determined by our spies within the government. That the sovereign has so quickly dealt away with an invading army. They're pushing the narrative even more so than usual that it is the sovereign who keeps us safe. But we know better, Azalea. We know of the massacres. We know of the generations of genocide, don't we? We know of the lies told to us and see them for what they are. Corruption and falsities.
Picking away at it as much as we can.
We cannot allow the people to forget. We cannot allow the people to see the sovereign for anything other than what they are. A horrific, godlike murderer.
The sovereign took the form of one of the leaders of the army. I don't think I have much use here. I think it's just an extra puppet. adorned with jewels and gold and silvers that the sovereign probably took a liking to. But
Then they will not form any resistance if their leader is dead. They will all be cast into the in Wayne words and wax words. They will be leaderless.
we do have one of the other leaders. It was one of the people I saved, Lady Kathleen. She was the wife of the Lord.
We must make sure she does not become a martyr.
Right now, I have her and the rest of the group I found. They're at the last star. They're going to be taking refuge there. They've got lodging there for until they need or have a want to leave. Got jobs there until then as well. We brought some things. They brought some things that have made him rather valuable to even the last star. So
Good. They will survive a while longer. Two things. One, my son. They're going to start looking for people that are from elsewhere. They're going to start trying to round them up. The narrative is Aelia, a invading army. That's dangerous. That's how the sovereign can become the people's savior, through deceptions and lies and public hangings. Keep your friends secret, their origins safe.
I have them saying there from plea that they were displaced because of the fires that was happening down there.
Yes, that'll do for now.
I think we made enough friends in plea that they'll account for our claims as well.
And what of these wizards?
The Glass Eye,
Yes.
from what they told me in their drunk stupor, there's some kind of secret organization planning to overthrow the warlords. In most cases, I'd be happy for the allies, but if these wizards are any indication of how competent the Glass Eye is, I think they'll fail and cause the warlords to up their security even further. So anything we do will only be made harder if they do it without us.
We need a name. We need to find who they would have met and hunt down this Glass Eye.
I can speak to them.
Take what is
They
useful.
owe me enough.
Shear away the rest.
I'll see what I can do.
You have done well.
Maybe out of glee, maybe in search of the rest, there are a lot more monsters out and about now. I think the Sovereign has done more than just a restock. It seems unprecedented how many are around now.
To keep stragglers and survivors out, no doubt. And to further show that the strength of the tyrant of the city keeps us all safe. This is a troubling new tactic from the ghost. The specter is getting smarter, but it also implies that they're playing a longer game than they have before.
Do you think they've learned something something enough to change their usual game plan?
I think something changed. I think that many deaths, that slaughter changed something. Look into it, Azalea.
I will. And if there are any other agents near that location or any location where other welders appear, can you tell them to keep an eye out for obviously the increase in activity, but also, according to Leader Kathleen, more people are scheduled to follow the lead of the previous army with resources at that, and we could use those resources.
Tell me of this lady. Is she competent? Is she moral?
Competent? I'd say so. Moral? I'm afraid I don't know her enough to say that for sure. She's done enough to keep us alive where she could. I can say that at the very least. She has an ability. She's a druid. Obviously not the first to arrive here. They usually lose their abilities when they arrive.
Yes.
But she has an ability to hide from anyone from here. Hide anyone who isn't from here from us. Not sure
Tell me
how
everything.
she does it. She called Wowen Owed dead. That feels off, wrong compared to where she's from.
This seems to upset him as much as it upset you.
He just gives like a nod and like, yeah, I had the same reaction. She mentioned something about investuring and investure, something like that. I
His
don't know
eyes
the mechanics of it,
widen
but
and his hands shake a little. He reaches out and takes your hand on the armrest and goes, investiture. Do not let her die. If she is on the path I think she is on, we must aid her. Help her set up her own base, her own means of operation. She needs money, she needs people. This will be very important, my son.
should I tell her about the held breath? Whatever she creates, we could make it a branch of it. We keep it secret on our end, and she's maybe the more public facing? Or do they both need to be
She
secret?
will need to be as secretive as we are. If not more so, she will be hunted. But she will want to save the people. She will grow in power if she is wise. Yes. Do not bring her here. You will be our liaison between her budding faction and ours. You can tell her of us, but give her nothing to be of use in the event that she is caught and tortured.
Sounds good.
You will need help. You will need help. And he's going to lean back and pull out a small whistle. And you can't hear it, but blows into it. And soon this bat-like, cat-like creature kind of glides into the room, and he kind of whispers into it. And the cat bat looks at you and scampers away. When you were young, did you ever wish to name a sword?
Maybe when I was quite young, yes.
What would you have named that sword? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Especially because you don't know anything about the sword.
I I need a cool sword name.
You sit back and you puzzle over this, and eventually there's a soft murmured chuckle from Isaac, and he goes, "There will be time for that, I'm sure. But I think you need something watching your back, something that cannot be bribed or tricked or lied to. I'm going to give you my sword." And you realize next to you, a floating sword has moved over to your dominant hand side.
Take it, test it, and I think like let it go again to see if it stays floating.
Gently orbits you. It will
Thank you.
watch your back when you cannot.
Thank you, Senior Isaac.
He squeezes your hand with a desperation of the elderly, hoping that the next generation can do better than they.
I'll get started and see what I can do to aid and build that faction. With the Lady Kathleen, I'll keep the Held Breath updated and noted. And we have a new friend of the faction, Jameson in plea. I'll be honest, I don't know how much he can do to help us, but there could be eyes and ears down there if we need it. Or at the very least a home for any other agencies.
Set up a smuggling chain. I will ponder on it. Thank you.
Of course.
Well done, Azalea. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. He starts just staring into the soft glow of the fire.
I'll stand up, take the sword very with reverence. I imagine there's a sheath with it.
Yeah.
I'll sheath it at
So,
my side.
as a bonus action, you can activate it, and it will unsheath itself and it'll have to stay within 30 feet of you. But it is able to move of its own will, seemingly.
Okay. Do I have to use an action or bonus action for it to like attack?
No, you just gotta tell it to wake up,
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
and you can leave it awake too to watch over you and the like.
Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, I will head out and I think rejoin the rest of the group at the
Okay. Back
start.
to the rest of the group. Bop, bop. Puff.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's a challenge. He keeps bringing more bread.
Never a challenge. Puff literally, as he keeps bringing more bread, is just stuffing it into his back. So what you do, you guys don't really have sunlight. Do you know anybody that can do like radiant magic or something that would be like equivalent to sunlight?
Yes.
So you need to have that.
Sorry,
if you
there's
could
something
cast
in my throat.
It's okay. So if you could like do like if you could set up like a little ball of that. I don't know how magic works.
He pulls one of the weir lights. He calls one of the weir lights to him and holds up the little radiant orb.
Yeah. So you need to take that and have it on. Again, this is a potato. You gotta have it on. You gotta have that the soil needs to be in direct sunlight for at least 6 hours. I don't know if you can. It's got to be at least. And I try to like describe the temperature of the dirt and what it needs to be. And then going through each like individual steps. So like this is gonna sprout things. They're called eyes. They're not eyes.
Oh.
But they're called. It's what they call. They're little. It's the beginning of the what is potato rooting, and then he goes into like the full like next step, and then he hands him the piece of paper.
How alien, how strange, how foreign.
But yeah, And then he explains is like it's gonna grow leaves out of it. You gotta wait for those leaves to eventually die. They're vines, but they'll grow out and then they'll wither. Once they wither, they're ready to be harvested.
You are much more competent than you appear.
When it comes to plants,
All right. Is there anything else I can get you guys?
Do you have a room that I could work in?
Yeah,
that I
absolutely.
could set up shop.
And slides one of the keys over to you.
Thank you. Atticus,
No.
with me.
Okay. Puff, lovely to meet you.
bye.
We'll catch up later. I still gotta help you plant that stuff.
Yeah.
Lady Kathleen also retires, takes one of the keys for herself, and locks herself into a room. Cameron ends up just kind of sitting down outside her door and leaning against it.
Puff's going to hand Lady Kathleen a note that says, if she decides to read it, it's just gonna like pretty much state that regardless of he understands that she genuinely cares for the what would be his people, and like he understands that she values, because a lot of what is the commerce in terms of food production for the city was from them. So he's just like paying his gratitude, and again his expressing his condolences for her loss. As much as he didn't like him, it still sucks to lose somebody. And then he's just gonna like bounce up onto a bunk bed and just be like, "Nyeh."
You've got your own room now, if you want to take it.
Oh, then yeah, he's just like, and then he just journals everything that's happened so far.
Okay. Pierce, you're able to set up a little bit in one of the rooms. The rooms were the nicer rooms. You're able to set up kind of your alchemy setup, with Atticus also helping along.
I'd probably shove like the beds out of the way to give us as much like desk and surface area as possible. And I'm gonna say, okay, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? All right, well, and then I'll open up my journal, kind of turn a few pages. Okay. Now, if we're gonna get paid good money, Atticus, we've got to make this good product, essentially. So,
Stands to reason.
Puff's gonna be in charge of growing it. We're gonna be in charge of making it. So, I think it's fair that we get our formula down pat.
Right to the measurements.
Pull out one of my vials. It's a different color than the normal celerity. And I will hold it to my temple.
Oh my gods. Oh my gods. Right to the
And-
dome, huh?
Yeah, hang on, just give me a...
Yeah, okay. Just gonna get a glass
And
of water.
You will see
Bring it over with wide
the
eyes.
veins start to become bigger and bigger, and these waves will kind of just start forming on top of my head. And I mean, if you guys have seen Invincible, kind of a mini version of what happens to Angstrom Levy will happen to Pierce, as in not like fully exposed, but the texture of a brain will become visible
Oh,
on the surface underneath his hair,
does that hurt?
kind of going down. A little bit.
A little bit. Here, have some water.
Thank you, but it helps with it helps with clarity.
It's vodka.
Um,
Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad.
it's fine.
Comes over with the water. It's.
Thank you.
I didn't know.
Appreciate that. But this elixir or this mutagen is sagacity. I think that's how you say that. And my intelligence is increased by 3.
Whoa!
So my intelligence is now 22.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, you're smarter than Atticus right now.
Okay. Now let me work here, and I'll just spread out a bunch of different pages, and I'll start formulating the I'm making Malibu at this point. And I get to work.
Okay, all right. Let's get a intelligence check. This isn't quite Arcana, but you've got a tools kit for this proficiency. So add your proficiency and intelligence.
Okay.
And I'll give you advantage because Atticus is helping you.
This is a check.
Yep. Oh, a medicine check. I apologize. This would be a medicine
Gotcha.
check.
No problem.
Thank you, Bill. Not me forgetting medicine checks existed. I was like, there isn't a check for that. Bill was like, dog. There is, though. No problem. Thank you. I appreciate you, Bill.
Where's my proficiency? I can't find it.
It should be at the top on the left.
Yeah, there it is. Not the greatest.
Okay.
12.
12. So with your first batch is too potent, and it'll make you blind. It'll kill you. For sure kill you.
Put a stopper in that, save it for later.
What have I done? Okay, it'll make you sick.
Okay.
I just accidentally oopsed a blind potion.
I go back to the journal, adjust the things, write down that formula though, and I'll try it again.
Yeah, all right. The DC's higher.
Okay. This is gonna be it.
Okay.
$16.
16. Not your best work, but definitely would sell, especially if no one knew any better.
I guess it comes down to, do you want to really make sure we have premium good product from the jump, or will this be a good starting point? I'd give it a 16 out of 20.
So would I.
8 out of 10. That's just not 20. Yeah.
8 out of 10.
But I.
Can I go check on the thingy, like on what they're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a knock at the door. Atticus jumps.
Come in, it's unlocked.
Just
And you
like,
walk in,
just bounce it and just.
see,
How's it coming? Whoa.
you see a few desks, like one of the beds had the mattress like taken off of it and like flipped over to where it's another pseudo like desk, and like there are beakers and small Bunsen burners, bubbling, boiling, multicolored liquids, and you see Pierce, like very oddly deformed with an enlarged cranium,
Yeah.
and he's just like pondering there, looking at the desk, and he's got his goggles on.
Atticus has had to hold one of the tubes in a specific way, so he's just like stuck like this, and he goes, "Hey."
It's just like looking at Pierce's like head. He's like, he did say he does other things too, so maybe that's normal. I don't want to be offensive, so
This is what
we're just
smart
not going to
people
bring
look
that
like.
up.
Once you hit a certain intelligence level, you just start naturally. It's kind of a phenomenon. You just start, instead of 1 out of 10, we do things 1 out of 20. It's once you're smart enough, it's just kind
So
of.
how's it coming along?
It's all right so far. You tell me what you think of this one, and I'm very careful to give him the
Yeah.
16 out of 10, not the kill you
Yeah.
vodka.
Yeah.
He doesn't drink it, but he sniffs it because he's been clearly around farming and moonshining.
He's seen them make you crawl liquor.
Yeah, it's just like it smells. How did you distill it?
Huh.
And then if I can, I want to try and give him because I don't necessarily know how to brew things, but I know potatoes.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
So it's using what I know about potatoes and what I've seen secondhand through like being around moonshining to give him the help action.
Okay. We go from alchemy to distillery, and let's go again.
Okay. It's back down to 12.
Ooh.
Unfortunately.
Some very bad fumes are starting to fill the room. Not to the point where it's like gonna be damaging or a problem, but it might be at the point where someone else might get like a little freaked out and say something. You know what I mean? In one of the other rooms.
Take it off the burner. If there's a window, I'll just open it up and kind of like waft it out.
Yeah.
Trying to see.
We still need loading stones if they've got them here. I have a few ideas.
Let's table it for tonight then. That one, and I'll point to the passable one. That one and the one that I made earlier, the half bottle, that's what should be left roughly. We'll give it to Lucas, we'll see how he likes it, and we'll come back to the drawing board. I need to get this gone, so if you'll pardon me for a moment.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
It might be easier when we have more potatoes to work with.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking.
all right.
I will flush the toxins from my body and get rid of the effects of the mutagen.
I think
My form will go back to normal.
Pierce,
Yes.
one of your eyes is kind of strange. And Puff would notice it at this point. Would you like
Oh, yeah.
to describe
So,
some of the irregularities?
not only does Pierce have heterochromia, in which one eye is just a slate gray, but there is one that is like a bright green, and instead of just a normal iris, it is like a near double iris. So it's like a Venn diagram,
Like a
but
little.
for pupa.
Yeah. So
yeah.
2 pupils.
Yeah, 2 green pupils that are barely connected at the same time.
Okay. Was it like that before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And like
then
that
I
the
just,
entire time.
just haven't noticed. So
You take that in.
yeah, it's like I just take that because again, Puff doesn't want to be rude, so he doesn't know what's normal for the situations. It's just like, okay, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine now. Get a little bit of a headache, but that's normal after that one.
And I hand Pierce my water skin. Just, here you go.
Thank you.
It's
Appreciate
not
it.
vodka, I promise.
Atticus goes, who would do that? I don't. Who would make that?
Yeah, who would do that?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get back to bed. We'll work on getting soil set up, and figuring out if this place has a basement or somewhere where we can like have them growing.
Okay. Is it? Oh god, it's that late. Okay. I'm gonna get like one more thing to eat, and then I'm going to bed.
Okay. My room's down the hall. If you need anything, well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I wish it was under
I
better
really-
circumstances.
Yeah, me too. And if you ever want to talk about anything, I'm around. And Pierce kind of like, he opened that line of communication because he heard he heard Puff talking about him looking for his family, and due to Pierce's experience, he's fairly certain that Puff's family is probably gone. And he doesn't tell Puff that, but he definitely thinks that, and there's like a deep empathy for his situation. And whereas Pierce is kind of like callous and mad at the situation, he sees Puff kind of like not there yet. So he kind of wants to be there for him if the emotion ever gets there. So.
Yeah, it hasn't even crossed Puff's brain yet that that's an option, because of where he wasn't, the building like the majority of the Heron Gun would have been in wasn't like right where the army was, but it's still fairly close, and it hasn't caught his brain that potentially they're all gone, or potentially they might have lucked out. So he's just it hasn't reflected that at least some of his family potentially is gone. He's just trying to stay optimistic, and he's just like he's got that unease of like kind of anxiety where he's just like, he understands like where you're coming from in terms of like the notion. He's like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he just hops back to his room.
All right. I think that's where we're going to end it for the night, gang. We'll be doing a bit of a time jump, but I don't know if that'll be between this episode and next or the one after. I got to chew on that. Gang, stick around. We are going to be doing a raid. It helps us out a ton. And thank you again for tuning in. Tune in as well on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 2 whole other campaigns. I'm SirFeffers, the humble dungeon master of the Longshot table. And I am so honored to have these wackadoos with us today. These absolute nerds. They're the best of us. And you should go follow them on all of their platforms. And I mean that. You should go show them some love. And while you're doing that, head over to the YouTube Longshot and get caught up from there. And then if you need more Dungeons and Dragons, we're in season 6. We've been doing this for 6 years. There's a lot of content on there. And a lot of the stuff, if you go way far back, pertains to the stuff happening in these day and age campaigns. And you'll see just how long I've been slow cooking some of the big stuff we're finally getting to. Head over to the Discord if you would like to join our community. We got bingo. Did anyone win bingo? Anyone win bingo? And you can find memes in a phenomenal community over there that is as chaotic as they are wholesome. If you want to learn to become a DM like me, my particular way of DMing and stuff like that, or if you want to get a seat at the table for some off-stream one-shots, head over to the Patreon. I think that's it for me. Let me throw it over to our newest member, Metro Mike. And again, welcome.
I'm Puff. Thank you for again inviting me on. I absolutely love this, and the pure tones of it are so heavy and rich. Super excited. You can find me obviously every Saturday on here, or Metro_Mike on YouTube, TikTok, Metro_Michael on Twitch. We'll be posting more YouTube content here shortly, short form and long form content. But again, first episode being on an actual campaign with you. So excited to see where this goes.
Me too.
I'm gonna hurt you. It's gonna be great.
What?
Dude, right now, just between me, Puff, and Pierce, I was like, oh, we're getting. I'm like, this is heavy.
I'm emotionally bonding.
Yeah, I'm like, oh god, like it's even as a player, it's setting in. but I expect to cry at some point because I'm an emotional kind of being. On
you
to
will.
ValveMax.
Everyone, listen. I love you. And I think that everyone here is a sweet little bean. And I don't know. I don't have much else to say except thank you for watching. And you can check out my stuff on TikTok at ValveMax010. You can follow me on Blue Sky. I'm starting to upload some stuff to YouTube, the shorts for my TikTok, because they almost took it away from me. But yeah, and then I'm also on Mr. Dandy DM's channel as Brash Briggs in Our Flag Means Doom. Forgot to say that earlier. But if you'd like to check that out, please go check that out. I'm vastly unorganized, so
Same.
I'm gonna toss it over to Drakoniques.
Hi, I've been Azalea, but most of the times I'm Drak or Drakoniques. So you can find me on all socials at Drakoniques. That's DRAKONIQUES. I'm a teacher, performer, producer, writer, anything and everything teacher related I'm doing or will be doing in the near future. Some stuff I will shout out again. Lost Omens Divine Mysteries. It's one of the Pathfinder 2nd edition books I was one of the writers for. So you want to check that out. And all of the giant gods on Lamashtu are the gods I got my grubby little mitts on and wrote their stuff for.
So cool.
So check that out. Lamashtu was a very big one for me because my first Pathfinder character was a worshipper of Lamashtu. So getting to write her lore in the official book was very,
That's so cool. Sorry, that was loud.
good. Also, I wrote one of the adventures in the official Doctor Who TTRPG 60th anniversary book that came out, I think, last year. Again, very awesome because I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, so I got to write one of the adventures for that. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, which I believe is 9 p.m. Eastern, over on Althaven. That's ALTHAVEN_ on Twitch. I'm in a Star Trek campaign called The Last Excelsior, which has been a lot of fun. I'm playing a Vulcan who doesn't suppress their emotions, and it's already caused a lot of trouble in the game so far. You can also hear my voice in a bunch of podcasts, namely over on My First Dungeon. I'm there every so often with a bunch of campaigns like Paint the Town Red, Orbital Blues, and Die RPG. And I got a bunch of other stuff that I'm working on, and I'll be announcing that soon, but keep an eye out. I'm very excited for those things.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, now I have a floating sword. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes. We haven't even gotten into what it does yet. Gang, I love you all. Thank you for the... Oh my God, Valerie, thank you so much for the gifted subs at the end. Good heavens. And a huge shout out to you guys, the community as a whole. You guys paid all my bills this month. You did that. And it makes me a little weepy, I'm not gonna lie. But instead, I will send you into the next stream. We're gonna go kick it with Kiki from Kiki Does Stuff, an amazing content creator, an amazing,
I love her.
best bean. Go show them some love. They're playing some Marvel Rivals. Well, just have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you all soon. Everyone say bye like super obnoxiously for me.
Bye, super obnoxiously for me.
Nailed it.
Bye.
And we are